Then I'll just start teasing the rest of the show after that. Yeah, let's just start with the actual show intro off top. We're live? What's up, everybody in the chat? Appreciate y'all pulling up to the show.
Hey, Chester?
Yeah, I think so.
What you said to me when you told me, old girl ran into, I thought it was the daughter. I ain't even, I was thinking, that makes it very awkward.
What's up, chat?
They there?
Yeah, they can hear us.
You sure?
Oh.
Let's see if I know anybody here.
Announce yourself, chat. Roll call.
Roll call, everybody put your hands up. I don't got reception. Okay, there we go. Everybody throw your zeros up. If you for me.
Before me.
Yep. If you for McCants, throw your zeros up.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Throw your zeros up.
Whoa, back to back, man.
Yeah, everybody get zeros.
We on Malcolm X time today.
If you want BJ, throw the zeros up. Stop.
We on X time.
Mr. B.
Everybody throwing up zeros. Fuck all y'all.
Come on, Miko. Goddamn.
It's not me.
Sorry we late. This is what happens when you hire women. They gotta put their face on. Hey yo, look what kind of shirt she got on. Chat, we got action, chat. We got action, chat.
Don't start no shit, man.
Chat, don't say nothing, chat.
Chat said, hurry up.
Focus right in on the shirt, chat.
They throwing crowns up too, Rashad. That makes
They throwing the crowns up.
I'm watching.
Rashad. They
I'm
throwing the
watching.
crowns-
Okay, they
I'm
throwing the
watching.
crowns up.
Ain't nobody mad, man. Y'all niggas stop it. It's entertainment. I'm here to trigger all y'all niggas.
Chat, production wants to just let you know the show's free, so, bear with us. We could be charging y'all 99 cents.
She's literally putting on her face. She's trying to catfish the chat.
Chatfish.
She's trying to catfish y'all.
Hey, the one thing I like seeing is when niggas say he's hilarious. I'm funny as fuck, nigga. I be having niggas in there dying, nigga. Y'all might not like everything else, nigga. Y'all gonna laugh at
Is
my
she done transforming yet?
Oh my God, shut the fuck up.
The chat want to see the shirt. Oh, here we go, y'all. Everybody zoom in. Everybody zoom in. Everybody zoom in.
Annoying. Why do you like this?
Yeah, we get canceled today. We get
I didn't
canceled.
say nothing. I'm just saying.
Why are you like this?
I'm just saying.
Definitely want to fight Jake Paul, though. Tell him that nigga to pull up. What's
Are we ready to get this?
Hey.
Hi.
Let's start the shizzo.
I can't stand him. Do I need a mic check? I'm good? All right.
Ages 0. Change the game. Put that respect on his name. Look, with the honor call for greatness, the chosen a few that carry the gift of genius, who do what they do, who possess finesse of blessed with desire, it's true. I'ma say it loud, none other than who? Some swear by Nikes, others love Adidas. Rappers be rocking crowds, I'd rather rock arenas. You may have a nice shop, you super set with the pill. Who made the zero famous? crowd as a wizard for years was 100% real. It's Gil. Gil. Eat 'em up, Gil. Eat 'em up, Gil. Eat 'em up, Gil. Eat 'em up, Gil.
Welcome back to Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Whoop, whoop. Back on this Tuesday, here with the living legend Gilbert Arenas. We got Brandon Jennings, got Rashad McCants, and back on the couch, Miko Grimes here with us.
Titty Tuesday.
Ooh.
You guys miss me? Why everybody
I'm
quiet?
HR, is that a, can we answer that?
Underdog HR.
Hey, how about this chat? Do y'all miss Miko?
They had to miss me. Come on, y'all had a lot of testosterone. You need some estrogen.
We balancing it out.
They said
You
only
look-
if there's a zoom in on. Okay, yep, they miss you. They said they miss you. Yep, you got it. You're good. They're good. They miss you.
Good.
All right.
I'm done.
Y'all are wild. The black community don't take shit serious. You already know that. You already know we don't take shit serious.
I love us.
But before we get into the show, we got to talk about a scary moment for Bronny James on Monday. An incoming USC freshman suffered a cardiac arrest during practice. So Shams broke the tweet this morning. He said USC All-American Bronny James collapsed on the court Monday and had a cardiac arrest. Taken to the hospital and is now in stable condition and no longer in the ICU. And tweet included the following statement. Said, yesterday while practicing, Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest. Medical staff was able to treat Bronny and take him to the hospital. He is now in stable condition, no longer in ICU. We ask for respect and privacy for the James family, and we will update media when there is more information. Obviously, a ton of people online, sent their prayers, showed their love. One in particular, DeMar Hamlin, who you may remember suffered a similar cardiac arrest situation during a Monday Night Football game. Had to be carted off the field, but he tweeted the following in response to the news. He said, prayers to Bronny and the James family as well. Here for you guys, just like you've been for me my entire process. So obviously at this point, we don't want to speculate. We don't really know a lot of information behind it. We're gonna wait for all those details. A lot of dickheads and idiots on Twitter trying to make correlations and shit that basically isn't based on any facts or logic at this point. Like I said, we'll wait to hear the information, but just quickly want to just get y'all kind of reaction to the news and hearing about the situation with Bronny.
Man, just, speedy recovery. This is a time where, the family has to, bond, stop whatever they're doing and make sure he's all right.
Yeah, just pray for his family, Bron, his wife, his children, everything. It's a tough situation because you just don't know. So, but just keep him in your prayers.
Same. Hoping it's not a reoccurring thing. I'm seeing it a little bit too often amongst athletes. This heart thing, and it's unfortunate. So we got to figure out what it is and how to prevent it.
Yeah.
My son is in tennis camp right now in Florida. It's 97. It's the summer, hurricane season. Like, it scared me as a mom, I called him and I'm just like, hey, if you feel anything, if you feel tired, normally you telling them to push through, don't quit, don't fight, keep going. But I had to tell him, quit. If you feel something, stop immediately. Don't, it's okay. Because he saw it too, and he was like, dang, what happened? What's going on? And I was like, if you feel anything, just stop. Because now's not the time to be tough, to push through if you feel anything, because it's happening a lot.
Yeah, and just to put a button on this, just want to send prayers out to Bronny and obviously LeBron and the family. Thanks by the grace of God that he was able to get medical attention right away. He's obviously now doing better, progressing, so we're going to keep an eye out on this situation, but just want to send our prayers out from Gil's Arena to the entire James family for this situation. Obviously nothing you want to deal with as an athlete and also as a parent or family as an athlete, so. We with you, Ronnie. We rocking with you, bros. But, we here to do Gil's Arena, so we got an actual show today. So here's what we got cooking. Celtics gave Jaylen Brown the richest contract in NBA history, but what does that mean for his future with the team? Player empowerment is here and it ain't going nowhere, but is it really bad for the league? At least one NBA player thinks so. We're going to get to that. And a soccer team in Saudi Arabia offered soccer star Mbappe damn near $1 billion for one season. but would an NBA star ever consider making a similar move? But as you know, before we get into all that, show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. If you have not done so already, download the app, use promo code GillsArena. That will match your first deposit up to $100. They got World Cup pick'ems cracking right now. College football is right around the corner. NFL right around the corner. NBA a few months away. So go ahead.
WNBA.
And WNBA is cracking. No, I don't want to hold no. I'm fucking up. I deserve to be praised. Nigga, I'm trying to hold your hand, dog. What's going on?
Don't take my hand, nigga. Don't take my hand.
The internet would go nuts with all that. But we see all the fans in the chat pulling up. Remember, we do our Mostly Fan segment at the end of the show. Ask a good question, and you'll be featured in the show. We're also talking to Underdog Fantasy. We're about to start breaking some bread. If you ask a good question, all you got to do is add your Underdog Fantasy tag. Haven't got that rolled out just yet, but giving you a preview for what's to come. So you're actually going to make bread potentially watching this show with some Underdog Fantasy promo bread. Not a bad look. I think a great benefit in addition to getting the greatest NBA show in the game right now. Basketball show, life, pop culture, whatever it may be. Also, if you can't watch the show with us, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as always. So go ahead, download, help us run these numbers up. I'm not gonna tell the price point yet for the good questions, but it's gonna be, it might be decent. But let's go ahead and talk about Jaylen Brown.
Got the white man in your ear.
We can hear you. We can fucking hear you, man.
You can hear it?
Man, loud as hell. Hey,
the white man.
say how much.
You got the
He
white
loud.
man in his
It's all loud. And we quiet. We like,
That shit is loud. That's why I don't be rocking AirPods. I'm about to get the Bluetooth like the old heads do.
Very loud ass.
But let's talk about. Let's talk a little bit about Jaylen Brown. Boston Celtics locked up Jaylen Brown until 2029 with the biggest bag in NBA history. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the news. So, Brown's Supermax extension is a 5-year, $304 million deal, fully guaranteed, includes a trade kicker and no player option. So Brown is in the last year of his deal. He's got $31.8 million coming this year. This new deal kicks in. He's slated to make $52.3 million in 2024, 2025. And through the life of the deal, $69.1 million in the last season, 2028, 29. Not eligible for a no-trade clause because he signed an extension. So salute to Jaylen Brown and his agent, Jason Glushon, for getting that deal done, making history.
That's nice.
But now we gotta talk turkey. So Gil, is this a good deal or a bad deal for the Celtics?
It's a good deal. They got their player back. He's only, 24, 25 years old, 25, 26. So, securing him is, what they needed to do. Y'all remember when 153 looked crazy? Right? 153, 155.
Look different.
Right?
Yeah.
Like this 305, 304 is cute today. This summer, next summer's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah.
When the big fish get out there.
I'm here for it.
That Pat Mahomes, you won't reach Pat Mahomes 500. He ain't really talking about nothing. Pat Mahomes got 500.
For 10 years though.
Yeah.
It's weak.
He locked in.
The NFL contract, though, you know that shit is just.
10 years weak.
And
He
it's
locked
510
in.
years.
It sound good.
And it's not fully
If he did 10 years, that would be what, 600?
The NFL contracts are janky,
Very.
backloaded,
Very.
language very iffy.
No.
tricky.
Looks good.
Yeah.
It looked good when they posted.
Yeah.
But is he gonna see all that 500?
You catch it. If you get a tan, if you get 2 shades darker, you lose 50%. You don't know what's in those contracts.
Stay out the sun,
Yeah.
nigga. That's crazy.
But Mika, how you feel about it?
I mean, I was a little worried on, whether or not they were going to stay together, if they were going to keep that nucleus together. So it seems like they're rolling with what they got. They're locked in, and anytime a player gets that type of money, like it almost makes you relax. And maybe once he relaxes, maybe we'll see a different player too.
So Brown, 2-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA selection. Obviously on the same team as Jason Tatum, who's a 4-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA selection. But Brandon, when you look at this, Brown's relationship with the Celtics has been a little rocky. There's been some comments made, some situations. They kind of had to give him this deal, but will Jaylen Brown finish this deal as a Celtic?
Probably not. He got his money. He'll be in Houston soon.
Why Houston?
Why not?
He went from Robin to Iron Man.
He'll be in Houston, like or
His
something
whole
like
suit. This is a new
something
suit.
like that. Houston or
I
something.
got a whole new suit. I'm on a whole new spectrum. Went from DC to Marvel, nigga.
Houston,
What's
Portland,
up?
maybe for
But
Dame.
why are we talking about the end of the contract? Man ain't even get to the
I know,
money
right?
yet. You
He got
already
the money. He got the money.
Is he gonna finish
No,
the contract?
no, he's not gonna finish there for sure. He's not. I don't know.
Gil, this is Gil's arena. We got to ask the pertinent question.
No, that ain't no question.
I get 300 and
What I'm
I
saying-
get 50 million a year.
Yeah, I got my
want the
money.
I want the ball first.
Yeah,
this time,
I got my
coach.
money. I'm good.
We
It's my
see
play.
Bill get
Yeah,
his
listen,
bag.
I'm gonna play this
He's not
last
with the
year here,
Wizards
and you
anymore.
I
know
know,
y'all can
but-
do whatever
We
y'all
see
want
Dame
after
get his
that.
bag.
It's my play now.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm
It's my
out.
play.
I'm out.
Wait, wait, come again?
But maybe it's okay, I'll take the Robin role on the court. I'm Batman, but with the paycheck.
If Robin got
You know
more
what I'm
bread than Batman, who really?
saying? But
Okay.
Hey,
sometimes
it's
that's
my-
what you
it's-
have to
it's
do.
my cave
It's
now.
his turn.
It's my cave
It's
now,
just
Batman.
his turn.
That's not how it works.
It's
Wait,
just
hold
his
on.
turn.
That's not how it works. You number
Yeah.
two, you number two.
Yeah.
You gonna get paid like number two.
But he's gonna pay like number. Tatum obviously will get the big
yeah.
bag.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Tatum's gonna be like at 350.
When it's his turn,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So he's standing there like, yeah.
That was
you
cute.
got the 304. You got the 304. That's cute.
But for the time being, because Jaylen Brown now get to walk in that locker room like, yo,
No.
I make
Nah.
the most bread. This is my team.
No.
nigga.
Nah,
No.
because he don't even want to. I don't even
He's
think he want to
still-
be there long term. Like
still
I
Robin.
think he wants his own team.
So this ain't no
Nah, if he won his own team, he would have bounced.
this ain't no sign
I gotta get my money first.
Sign and trade?
This ain't no sign and trade?
Oof.
No?
For who?
For a lot.
I just don't
We've
think you
seen it,
give
though.
him that.
Dame.
Dame not going to Boston.
Dame and them.
305. I mean, 305. I mean, you know, it's just where the number's at. You know what I mean? It ain't like we looking at the number.
Yeah.
It's still.
That's just
it's
what-
still
what's
not
next.
a max.
Yeah, that's just
right. That's
what's
not.
next.
That's not. Who's max? That's not Tatum's max. That's not Booker's max. That's not.
Well, yeah, the brag's gonna increase in
know,
subsequent seasons.
Murray.
Huh?
Murray.
No, he's not. Spider-Man.
Spider Mitchell.
Yeah. So that's not their max. When their max comes up, you know, the older you are, your max is a lot higher.
Right.
Right. So the 3-year players, their maxes is 260? 3 years players?
260.
You know, so his is probably 305. That means Tatum's, Ben Simmons, that group, you know, Embiid, that group, they'd be like at 350.
Damn, good lord. We need underdog. Follow suit. We need them super maxes. We need them super maxes. So we looked ahead, but now let's look at the now. Jaylen Brown's the Celtics right now. Are the Celtics the favorite to win the East with this Jaylen Brown turmoil behind them and that
His face.
that quote unquote big three of
Hell no.
Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Porzingis?
I mean, look, they got rid of who? Just Marcus Smart?
Yep.
And they got an actual big that keeps them big. I mean, it does.
Al Horford.
It does. Al Horford's at the 4, not the 5 anymore.
And Williams is still there too.
Time Lord.
So
What?
and they gonna be up there. They were 1 last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see how
They got better.
they got better. They got a lot better.
Yeah, but it's
Who'd y'all get?
Top 3?
Who'd y'all
get?
Who'd y'all get?
they
Who the Bucks got?
got a new start because they're not injured.
No, they got a
got
new
a
coach.
coach?
They got a new coach.
Oh, there we go.
Who's the coach?
Yeah.
Bucks were first in the East last year by
Yeah, I'm about to say, I was letting y'all talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's say, yeah.
Bucks
We
were
was
number
1. Yeah, we
And
lost.
Boston was 2?
Yeah, you know,
Oh, yeah, Boston was 2.
Miami got
It's
it.
gonna be the same thing like last year. Again, this year we're gonna be 1 again.
Y'all got that. Another
Milwaukee gonna be
fly.
1, and then everybody gonna be fighting.
Summertime. I hear Willie Hills, these flies is coming.
Did y'all get better?
No.
Huh? You said, did we get better? Yeah. I mean, we got a coach. I mean, everybody coming back healthy.
Who's the coach?
Adrian Griffin.
Adrian Griffin.
Yeah. We got a black coach.
Fair. Any concern though? New coach coming in. Is it gonna be rocky to start? Are they gonna be able to? Bucks gonna get it together right away?
I mean, we still have our core. So, I mean, those guys, they still know how to play together. Resigning Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, all back. So we still got our core. It's just about, what the coach is going to do.
My thing is this: when a new coach comes in, right? Are you putting in your own plays, or are you keeping the same plays that made the players comfortable?
I think it's half and half. I think you still go with some of the schemes, but you got
Stuff
to
that
put in
works.
something new though, because they brought him in for a reason. So it's something new that he's bringing in.
I think if he was on the bench when all that shit was going down, he's gonna make the adjustments that he felt needed to be made. Like if Adrian was watching Budenholzer do certain things that wasn't working, certain offenses, schemes, things that didn't, he gonna come in and make those adjustments. I've seen certain coaches do that, sit behind the bench and watch coach do certain things, then they come in and get that opportunity and they change these. Like you said, if they change the whole offense because it's just comfortable, that's what I fear for Milwaukee is they're going to come in with a new system with the same players and still get their ass.
So Adrian Griffin was with the
Wait
Raptors.
a minute.
Sweep
You
their
can't
ass.
say that first round. You can't call that nothing. Like that's an injured
I'm going to call it the
situation.
same thing I called it with
We
the
gonna
Lakers.
call it the same?
You know what
Yeah.
happened with the Lakers?
Doesn't matter. But when you have an injured player, it obviously
Miami in
changes
trouble next
things.
year, so.
And this is another thing about the Celtics. You guys picked saying that they're the favorite to win. Like they look so funny in the light. Like why? Who has trust in them? They should have beat Miami. Like they should have beat Miami. Seriously.
Why?
Because they're the better team.
But they didn't have the confidence.
They have better players.
They didn't
They
have the
better
That's what I'm saying.
team.
So they're better players. They don't perform well in that situation. Why would I pick them to win it next year when they had an opportunity to beat a team that really wasn't supposed to be there if we're keeping it real? And they couldn't do it.
And Adrian Griffin was with the Raptors 2018 to 2023 with Nick Nurse, so bringing in potentially a different offense, different philosophy. But you talk about those Celtics, exactly. You know,
Miami's in trouble though.
Bucks are in trouble, bro. Don't worry about these.
You guys more in trouble than us.
And we know how to take it from nothing to something.
Miami.
Y'all don't know how to take
Miami's
it
in
from something.
trouble.
Y'all
Miami-
take it from something to nothing.
Miami won't have a run like that.
You think he's starting off with Miami next year as his team?
That's your team?
I hope
to
not.
start?
My colors.
That's it?
Oh, he's
Are
full
you
of
locked
Miami.
in?
Okay.
Are you locked
I'm
in?
locked
Bet.
in.
Keep that same energy.
Keep that same
Keep
energy.
that same energy. Keep
Don't
that
worry
same
about
energy.
me. Listen.
Keep that same energy.
You got swept.
Keep that same.
Right.
Talking about last year.
You got swept.
Who?
Right?
You got gentlemen.
Well, I mean, you all.
You
got,
You guys got
gentlemen.
gentlemen
You
that
got
sweat.
What do you call
gentlemen
that?
sweat. A gentleman
We got to
sweat.
win, though, right?
You got a
But we
gentleman
got there too. Then we got there too. Didn't we get there?
We're not doing this.
And you got- and you
I'm
got-
not doing this.
Didn't we get there?
And they
Who's
put their
we?
hands on
Didn't
y'all.
we get there?
He-
You had the Grizzlies.
I don't want to
Right.
hear that.
You had every
Then
you
you
had
going
every
back.
team.
That
Every
long.
division you had to win
Here you go.
something.
What hat I'm wearing?
He had the Boston.
I'm not wearing all of that.
He
I'm
had
wearing
Boston
one
also.
hat.
Yeah.
I'm wearing one hat.
Okay, now.
I'm
Okay.
wearing one hat.
He had Boston
Okay?
also.
Y'all can't even wear the hat. Y'all so motherfucking embarrassed. Y'all can't put the goddamn hat on.
We got the whole
God
set color
damn.
scheme.
We in LA. Y'all don't even
We got the whole purple and gold. The whole color scheme is purple and gold.
Clipper fans or
This
Laker
man
fans
had-
or Suns
Here
fans.
you go.
Boston.
Here you go.
He had every team.
Yes.
Y'all got to
Memphis.
make up y'all mind. That's all I want y'all
Memphis.
to do.
Didn't he have Phoenix?
Brandon was a Laker
You had
fan. Brandon
Phoenix?
was a Laker fan. and he jumped off the bandwagon.
we trying to bring him back
Phoenix
home.
had in there.
I like that hat.
Okay.
But that was just for the prop. That was only for the prop.
We got
They say,
the Phoenix.
Rashad, we want you to be KD today.
I guarantee that has been perfect.
He said, Rashad, we want you to be the KD.
You still got the hat? Hey, you role played the fuck out of
Warriors.
that.
I like the Lakers, but I'm Milwaukee first.
Understandable. So now we're talking about Jaylen Brown, highest paid player. It feels like rarely does the best player in the league get the highest contract. So Embiid won MVP last season, enters this season, I think, as the 5th highest paid player. So should there be a world where an MVP gets league MVP gets a bonus to make them the highest paid player the following season? Like doesn't count against the cap.
But you're saying the best player. Who says the MVP is the actual best
Whoever
player?
the most valuable player is
The most valuable player
Wins
in
that
the
award.
league?
wins
Or
that
the most
award.
valuable player on the best team?
So whoever wins from the square voters, the 68%.
No, because that's not the best player in the team. It's the criteria. What is the criteria? If the criteria is if you win MVP and you have the best team, because the top 3 teams, whoever the best players, are the favorite to win.
Yeah, for sure.
Has nothing to do with the best player in the.
Well, I'm saying as voted.
So you want to do whoever wins that award gets a bump?
They get a bump, doesn't count against the cap.
Then you should do that in your. That's part of your player contract.
Yeah.
Gilbert
That in your
was
incentives.
Joker the best player in the league last year.
The best player, Joker. Yeah.
You disagree?
Oh, I agree. He was the MVP. That means that everything he
No,
just
no,
said.
he didn't win it. No.
Everything I just said. What? Hold on.
Embiid.
Whoa. Everything I just said. What?
Everything you just said, the best player is not necessarily the MVP.
Okay.
All right, I was just about to give you credit, but you stopped it.
You
stopped the credit. See how you do that? I'm about to give you the whole.
You right off.
I just wanted to make sure he finished the thought.
God
I didn't
damn.
want to mess his thought up.
Man, messing up your blessings.
But that should be in your player contract.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is separate should the league
No.
award the bonus so it don't count against the salary cap.
No. Incentives. That should be an incentive
Now-
on your contract.
Why don't players vote for the MVP?
Because
The
players
current-
are haters.
Players are
worse
haters.
than the media.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the media is worse to me, and they have low
worse
IQ.
than- Because remember we talked about Trae Young being the most underrated.
The Trae Young was
Niggas
like
just
12th
hate on
12th
Trae
in the-
Young, and you know what I'm saying? That whole conversation was
Because
like,
there has to be a better way. Because if you let the players vote that was in the NBA this year, I don't think Embiid would have won.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, do you guys vote for All-Star?
No.
See, in the NFL, the players get to vote for like Pro Bowl. Like they have a players and they have a fans and they have a media.
But does that make sense? Because players are haters. Probably bigger haters.
But not when you the majority will get it grouped. They'll get it right. You'll have some players, oh fuck that nigga. But the media, like the thing, if I try to do an interview with you and you didn't give me the interview, I ain't voting for you.
so what do you think about former players?
what if you're a player?
Or Hall of Famers?
But do they watch the game?
But I think they're haters. I mean, it's
They
just a
don't
lot.
think everybody's
a hater. Deep down. I think that's the moral.
Yeah,
Everybody's a hater.
It's
You
a
see all
biased
the
thing.
veteran players too upset that
It's a
at
biased
the
world.
contracts that a lot of the guys are getting, and they might hate on them too.
Yeah, it's just a sticky thing. Like if you want, like who doesn't someone have it? I don't know if it's a coach, is it a college coach? Someone has it in their contract. Someone out there has in their contract they have to be the highest paid. I think it's a coach. So every time a coach gets in front of him, he automatically gets a bump. There's someone out there that has that.
Will Chamberlain was getting that off back in the
Ooh,
day.
Nick Saban.
He's gonna hold $42.
No, but I'm just saying, Bill Russell was quote unquote the highest paid player, but Will would basically be like, oh, I got a back injury, I got whatever, make that fucking money more than his. I don't care what the contract says.
Shit, another $42.
$42.
I'm just saying.
57
Come on, I mean,
cents.
if Charles Barkley in the 80s was making $400,000 as like a top 10 pick, what the hell you think they was making
Yeah,
back then?
that's fair.
And man,
That seems like a good move.
But that's a good. I mean,
Bill Russell made $100,000 at 65. I don't know what the current comp is, but that was enough. You know, you could live a good life.
it's almost
Back
like
in those days.
it's almost like it's moving towards leaving it up to 2K. 2K is gonna dictate
You gotta let casual.
who's gonna be what, just based on ratings, performance, what you're doing, all that.
I just wish there was a real clear cut, like definition of what is an MVP.
But will there ever
What
be?
is the criteria? Like,
But
can
they
we see
cheat,
the
but they
criteria?
cheat.
Most valuable player.
No,
To who
the
though?
NBA?
To who though?
Yeah.
To the league.
Okay, so
The league MVP, usually
But-
when you held up that it was you were the most valuable player in the league.
But sometimes it's easy to know who that is.
so if you're the last, so if you're on the last place team and you're averaging 30, 37 points a game, wouldn't you be the most valuable player?
you were the scoring champ.
No, but your team sucks that bad that you have to do that. That means you have to play, you have to run your engine 1,000 miles an hour
Tracy
to
McGrady.
keep up.
Tracy McGrady was a scoring champ, but he wasn't the most
but I'm
valuable
saying-
player in the league.
But he was.
But he wasn't.
No, he
Kobe
didn't win
Bryant
the award
was.
because that's not the criteria.
Now, who won MVP those years he won scoring champ? That was Shaq 1 year, KG 1 year, and I
Tim Duncan
think
got one for sure.
Yeah, but now that's what's up.
Tim Duncan,
Now think
yeah.
about think about Steph Curry's and them, right? Think about that team, right? You have 3 All-Stars. They didn't even have to play in the fourth quarter, right? Versus someone
Who's playing
who has to play damn near 48 minutes just to keep in that same race. He's running his engine a lot more versus someone who only has to go about 65%. So what is the real criteria of if we take this person who's running this engine off, right? They have no chance of winning.
jersey sales, influence, points per game, all those things, all NBAs, all of those things play a part. When you look at Allen Iverson, when he was the league MVP, he was jersey sales, he was influence, he ran his engine all the way out. So it's like, it was a hands down thing when you looked at AI that year.
Well-
KG that year, he did everything
but
for
his
the
team was
Minnesota.
number 1 too, though.
Yeah, but
You look at LeBron, right? Finals,
Gilbert
different
did that.
Cleveland. They went number 1 in the lottery 4 straight. I mean, so I think you're talking about just impact. If I remove this guy, even if you have 15 wins, if I take this dude off the team, do you have 2? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
now think about that, right? That LeBron was at 2000.
just like 10 or 11.
No, his no, that last one.
When he came to the Lakers?
Yeah. What year was that? The 2018, 19?
18, 19, yeah.
All right, now, who won? He didn't win an MVP that year, right?
Giannis, I think.
Right? Damn, bro.
Okay, this is just an example. This is just an example, right? He didn't win an MVP. I don't even think he was close to winning an MVP. He was just removed off that team. They were in last place. Wouldn't that be considered the most valuable player?
Yeah,
One person
To the
took
team?
them to the finals.
To the team, or to the
Period.
league?
But you have a
To the
point. That's what I'm
league.
saying. There's no clean cut
Right, think about it.
definition of
You see
what
what I
it
mean?
is because it moves and it changes every year. And I think that the league does it. Perfect example. Last year, let's just keep it real. Embiid was not supposed to be the MVP. I think they gave it to him because they didn't want to give it to Joker 3 years in a row, and that would have put him on a pedestal higher than all the other centers. And they just didn't want to do it. They just didn't want to do
Michael
it.
Jordan too. I mean, because Michael Jordan
In
never
theory.
won 3 in a row.
In debates.
In theory, yep.
But
But Larry Bird did, so we got to,
what's-
there are conversations we need to have that are
You know what's
deeper than
funny?
basketball.
even if he won 3, there's no hooper that would have put him in the top 5 of anything.
Just because of that.
But
He hasn't done enough to be put in the top 5. But it's like, okay, he got 3.
But it would have made it a discussion, period. You know what I mean? Like, it just would have been a thing.
Based on criteria, right?
Yeah.
Orange
I don't know
Shaq
why.
was saying that.
I don't know
Yeah,
why
but we still wouldn't have
Statman.
been
I don't know why
But I-
Statman
but that's-
saying that. Statman said Isaiah Thomas is overrated because he didn't get enough defensive, all defensive teams over John
let him-
Stockton. Because John Stockton had more defensive teams.
But played more years too. But
I mean,
So if you got 3 MVPs,
That should matter.
yes, it should.
I mean,
matter.
Yes, it should.
I mean,
and you with Larry Bird too.
That
So it's like,
matters.
what's up?
Right.
2 white guys.
I mean, that was
2 white guys.
one white, one's
Wait.
foreign.
That's still white.
No, it's not. It's Chinese white.
Caucasoid.
Yes.
The Chinese white.
Yes.
Go ask the Asian if they white.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't.
I'm just talking about
so quickly, it's quickly
So white is his
spiraling.
own race.
Racist all race.
No, it's a
Caucasia.
color.
Is it-
It's a color. It's
Where
not a
is
race.
Caucasia on the map?
It's
Until
a
we can
color.
answer that question.
It's a color.
In the mountains of Europe.
Like, where is
But I did.
You call an Asian a white person,
Caucus-
They're gonna be offended.
squaring
They're
up?
gonna get
So
offended.
go
If
get
you ask me if
offended.
their
I am
skin is
not
white, I would say yes.
They squaring up?
They're the color of a white man, a white woman. They are.
That was a good argument that I had. Right? You have the most defensive team in the league.
Okay.
And the head of the defensive frontier, the
Era.
main
The point guard.
point guard, don't have no defensive stats. Y'all don't see a problem with that?
The same with KD.
Damn, KD should come on the show.
How does
Because
KD?
KD don't got no all defensive teams. And you consider him the best player in front of
Wait,
everybody
what
else.
does he- I'm saying, wait. The back line is the best defensive team, and this guy's in the front picking the ball up. How he doesn't have, it should be easy for him. Like Drew Holiday, right? Marcus Smart, they're in the front. They have the protection in the back. So how does he not have these defensive things if he is the first line of defense?
Because he got other players
But
on
Drew,
his team that
but
play
Drew Holiday and
defense.
Marcus Smart, their defense wasn't like the Pistons back then.
Here's my argument.
The people in the back wasn't.
Like Chauncey Billups was on a defensive team, he's in the front. So it was a thing like, how he's not winning defense if he's the first
But that's
line
my
to defend?
argument with KD. KD
in
7
the
foot.
back line.
But look, KD 7 foot, just like Giannis. I consider him and Giannis to be very, very similar. Giannis defensive player of the year, what, twice?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, twice, and he won it with an MVP. So why is KD never been considered in the defensive all-team discussion when you're 7 foot, you're guarding guards who are way smaller than you?
Here's a
Block
point.
that shit, block that shit, block that. You can't.
But that doesn't.
He's saying why is he could be in the discussion of best player in the league when he doesn't have that criteria? Like you can't hold that same standard for Zeke
point
that
guard?
you don't have for
Does-
KD.
Exactly.
No, that's two different people.
No, but it's the 2 different positions, not 2 different people.
Two different people. One has to pick the ball up.
One can
One
play
is
One
weak
is
pick
side.
the ball up. One.
Giannis didn't have to pick the ball up.
You have Drew Holiday, who's
But
picking the
Giannis
ball
don't
up.
have to
Is
pick
Drew
the-
Holiday all defensive player? Every year.
Was Westbrook an all defensive player?
No. Right.
What do you mean? Clay Thompson was an all
Yes.
defensive player.
Picking the ball up.
So
Picking the ball
So
up.
why is KD not? Is if
He's not
Giannis
picking
was
the ball. Why are you using a forward when the conversation is about a guard?
because I'm
Like
saying
Chris Paul
Look, this
is
what I'm
picking the ball up. Kobe Bryant is
If
picking the ball
Giannis
up.
can be all defensive, KD can be all
Cool,
defensive.
but that's not what we're arguing right now. We're arguing why on the front line of a defense, your first line of defense is your point guard.
how come on the best defensive team we consider in history, whenever someone brings up the 80s, they're bringing up the bad boys. How is there 4 bad boys?
Are you saying that Isaiah didn't have good defense? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying.
Because just because you don't get an award, you don't get stats, doesn't mean you're not a good defensive player. And let me tell you why. Because you can be the first line. You can be the person that causes the turnover. The reason that the person gets the steal. There are some defensive players that get stats based off of what other people are doing.
No, you get credit for the stop too.
Pat Beverly was the
Defense.
disruptor. He disrupted things.
And he got
Jose Alvarado disrupt things. Rondo disrupted things. Certain players disrupted things, right? But it's not like if they didn't make the team, you can't say he didn't play defense. If he doesn't make the team, you can't say, oh, he didn't play no defense. It's like, my nigga, I didn't get the award because my other guys got the awards.
It's just a weird thing that
If he had a Defensive Player of the Year award or was in the all defensive, then you would feel more comfortable putting him over Stockton.
It makes sense. Like when Detroit, when they received him, and everybody was scoring damn near 65 to 85 points, right? It was a whole team lockdown. Everybody was rewarded. So how's everyone else rewarded but the main guy?
Because I feel like this.
IT had a mouth.
I feel like this. Isaiah wasn't, the team, the Pistons you're talking about, wasn't considered the best defensive team because they called the bad boys. They were the bad boys because they knock your fucking teeth out. They were aggressive. They were no nonsense. It wasn't because they were just the best defensive team. They got their ass whooped sometimes too. Jordan went in there and whooped their ass when they had to. Bird and Magic, all of them. But it's like when you talk about going in there, they bad boys because they don't take no shit. They knock you out. You can't come to the lane. That was anchored by Isaiah. His mentality was, hey, listen, when Jordan goes left, he's going to shoot. When he goes right, he's going to dunk. John Sally said, hey, Zeke told us to take that nigga out when he go right.
So he's telling everybody what to do, but he's not doing it himself?
Because he don't have to. He's leading him down there. The Lambeer and Mahorn, if he's doing it, he's getting fouls. Why would he take himself out with fouls when he can say, hey, Lambeer, take these hard fouls. Sally, take these hard fouls. Mahorn, take these hard fouls.
Isaiah Thomas going to pull up on you, Gil.
I'm just asking a question.
I'm just telling you.
I'm just asking a question. I mean, Gary Payton, no nonsense, got in your butt. They didn't have to worry about that. Pause.
What you mean didn't have to? What you mean didn't have to worry about that? He didn't have no weak side.
If you asked anybody about John Stockton, he was the most dirtiest player in the league as a guard because he didn't take no shit.
But does that make him a good defender?
You see how many awards he had?
Because he didn't get caught, right?
Is Chris Paul a good defender?
Yeah, back then, yeah. He was on the team.
Shit's already started on the Tuesday.
Like, oh, I'm lying. I'm tripping.
Shit already started on Tuesday. Isaiah Thomas, if you do pull up, bring some of that award-winning champagne with you, please. Let it be known. We can pop
drank that already.
It's decent.
It's like 30 years.
I'm dead. No.
But let's.
They was probably drinking mums back then.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Andre used to hit back in the day. $7. Hey,
Andre.
felt like a superstar.
That's sorry.
Chris cousin Andre. But let's talk a little bit about Draymond Green. So Draymond Green hopped on Pat Bev's podcast, and the two shared some insight into the prevalence of low IQ players.
Not only do I not think there's many guys that has the next level basketball IQ, there's not many guys that have a basketball IQ in the NBA. Like you talking less than 60% of the NBA.
And he's been nice.
Like
yeah, he's been really nice.
Generous.
Really generous. Don't have an IQ.
What's the ATO? My fuck, ATO. Like some coaches don't know what ATOs are. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no cap.
Like, was we supposed to see something or is just?
You're supposed to hear the sounds. Audio.
Relax.
Okay.
They were super close up on Dray. They were shooting the forehead.
Okay. I was just making it.
Camera was.
So Draymond, obviously a high IQ player, but also an example that even with a high IQ, you can do some dumb shit on the court sometimes. Think about getting suspended Game 5, 2016, stomping on Sabonis' chest. But do you agree with Draymond saying 60% of players in the NBA have a low basketball IQ?
Only 60%?
They said that was being nice.
Only 60%? I mean, when it comes... The team, you know, the league is younger, right? Younger, they're coming straight from AAU, spending 1 year in college. Like, it's not going to have the IQ of, you know, the 80s and the 90s, you know, players that really understand the game.
Yeah.
60% don't have, I'm thinking 80, 85.
Yeah.
I mean, half these players, you can see when they get out of timeout, coach drew the play up, they sitting there like, where'd I go? Like, right?
Well, that's why the game has been simplified the way that it has. You look at how, when we was playing, it was complex. There were plays, there were sets, there was counters, there were strategies defensively. There was, you know, you had to know the terminology of every pick and roll coverage. You had to know, you know, how to follow the teams underneath where you're guarding a Utah Jazz, you're guarding a Spurs team. Everybody played differently. You had to be on your shit. You actually got the playbook. You had to have the playbook. If you wasn't a star player that didn't really necessarily need that, to be in the game, you had to know strategy. You had to know all of this. Now they've just simplified it for where now players are just like, all right, this nigga's gonna go one-on-one. We're gonna load up. When he swing, we close out. And then offensively, sit in the corner, nigga, and wait for the ball and shoot it.
5 out.
Ain't no plays.
I mean, it's just a lot, like, in life now. Social media, like, kids are just into everything else besides basketball. It's a lot. Like, guys are making a lot of money. Like, the history of it, like, the history of the game is not really, people don't really appreciate it as much anymore because, you know, everybody's doing so much different things now. So that's probably why the IQ is so low, too, because we're not respecting the history of the game.
Yeah.
And is there a difference between having a low IQ versus no feel for the game? Or is that one and the same?
That's a good-ass question.
Yeah.
I think it's two different things.
Having a feel for the
Playing enough. Like, having a feel is like playing enough to know how the game
like, having a feel is just, we can go out right now and just have a feel.
having,
we know.
play the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Yeah, having a feel, I mean, having a feel is, I guess it's pretty much the same in a sense, right? A guy who's been playing basketball a long time, just go out there and can play backdoor, read, he can do all that, which can be considered a high IQ player.
So, I mean, I just come from reps, right? Like, actually, I think the emphasis nowadays, a lot of guys do individual training, skill work. But, like, when we were younger, it was like, go to the park, we playing for 5, 6 hours, whatever it may be. And like y'all are saying, just actually learning the game of basketball from a team standpoint.
It's experience.
It's
IQ gives you experience.
And also, the movement of the game is completely different now. Like, the way the ball moves now versus then. So, credit to what you said. If you don't watch, a lot of these kids don't even know who some of these old players are, you know? So if you didn't watch, your only idea of what the game's like is what you've seen. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people aren't keeping the good, meaty parts of the old school game and bringing it. It was left behind.
Like, that's wild because you can literally go on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have that option. Like,
yeah,
we had to watch NBA on NBC.
Live, right when it was on.
And if you didn't put that shit on VHS, you wasn't going to see it again.
Yeah.
But you can literally go watch whole-ass games from pretty much any point in the league's history. Mm-hmm. So you should be able, these guys should have a higher IQ and be more skilled now in theory, but...
So take a player like Andre Miller. I think we could all say Andre Miller was a high IQ guy, right? Yeah. And he did things on the court that a lot of point guards, if you didn't study the game, you wouldn't know that was important for the game. The things he did for Andre Iguodala with Philly, the things he did for the Denver Nuggets when Melo and all of them was on that big-ass team. He was the one that was really getting niggas involved. High IQ guy, Rajon Rondo. How do you segment all these personalities on the Boston Celtics without knowing how to fucking do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, these kids don't study the game enough to be able to say that they got a high IQ. And they don't, like you said, they don't give a fuck. They really don't. When you're asking who Vince Carter is and if he got game or not, like I was saying in Vegas, it's like, my nigga, what do you mean? Like, all you know is him being a dunk contest champion? Like, you don't know that he really had game? So,
even Iguodala, like,
it's easy to, you can see which players are very high IQ. Usually, most of the kids who are dominating without athleticism.
Yeah.
Right? You know, because they have to really understand the game. They have to understand movement, angles, body language to still get their shots off.
Yeah.
Now, if the athletic kid gets that same attribute, that's where our GOATs come from.
Yeah. You have both.
So a question for y'all. Y'all all played in the league. How hard is that rookie learning curve, and how much does IQ really improve for most NBA players over time?
Just like a shot, you have to train it.
Yep.
You have to train, you have to study, you have to ask questions, you have to understand ruling, and that's the problem with the NBA. The NBA is having a I blame the NBA in coaching. You're dumbing down, you're watering down everything for the average of your league, right? Here's why. All the rules that are being changed, you're taking away from high IQ players. You're taking away from the person who's studying the rule book, the James Harden. All right, if I go here, you know, I'm left-handed, he's right-handed, he's gonna reach with this, I can use this elbow, get him up. And now you're like, oh, you can't do that. Tim Duncan is the one, they put their hand like this and he's
come right up to it.
That's the high IQ who's manipulating the game. So what ends up happening, everyone gets tired. Too many fouls is boring, and this game is boring.
Yeah.
Now you're dumbing down for stupidity so it looks better.
Yep.
Like if you're too stupid to understand, don't jump. I'm gonna pump fake, right? And you're gonna keep jumping. That's your fucking problem, not mine.
And we keep telling you in the huddle, he's going to go 2 dribbles and he's gonna fucking pump fake. Don't go for it.
What do you do it anyway?
Because
Low
low IQ.
What do coaches do? Man, take your stupid ass out. NBA is not like, no. We're not gonna call it now.
Yeah.
Oh, now you get to keep your stupid ass in.
That's why they call it a learning curve for a reason. To learn. You learn around the mistakes that you make, the mistakes that other people make. You're sitting on the bench if you don't play a lot, and you sitting there looking in the crowd and all that other shit, and you really not paying attention. And when Kobe in the game, for these first 5 minutes, Durant in the game, first Kyrie, Steph, you not watching the habits of what they do in the first 5 minutes of how they get their fucking 30 points. It starts in the beginning of the game. So if you're not a student, you're gonna end up being out of the league.
So, Gil, you talk a lot about watching film, reading rule books, but how many guys, and we talk about just learning the game, you learn from, you know, I'm like coaching young kids right now, they eventually learn what an out of bounds is, what a key is, whatever, just from being there and doing it. How many guys you actually feel like are scanning through that rule book, trying to exploit flaws, find loopholes, and really understand the rules of the game?
5 to 7 players.
Which is crazy to think about. Here's your textbook, fucking go study, you know.
Yep, and it's the 5 to 7 players that are doing this is the 5 to 7 players the league is targeting. And that's why I always like you're targeting the James Harden, the Trae Youngs, the you know what I mean, the Lucas. You're targeting the Steph Curry. Like when you look at Steph Curry, and I was watching his doc. Amazing.
Steph, come talk about it on the show.
Look at his movements, right here. Set a pick, stop, take off. Stop.
Yeah,
Soon as he stops, you stop. Then he takes off. Right. Yeah. That's IQ stuff. That is all. When you think about Reggie, right? He has your momentum. He gives you a little tap to go the other way. Those are very high IQ players. So when you start penalizing your top tier, you're trying to make them normal. And that's the problem. If James Harden goes out there and gets 47 free throws, that ain't his fucking fault.
Yeah.
That ain't his fault. Adjust, understand. He's reading, he's learning.
Bad defense.
And you're getting mad for the ability to process the information.
This might hurt some feelings, but I'm blaming it on these fucking summertime trainers. It's in there fucking bop, 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 dribble, and ain't nobody fucking working on strategies on how to fucking play defense. Like if you're gonna teach offense, right, you gotta teach the defensive side of that as well. I gotta guard this shit. So when I go in, I see like a dribble too much or all these guys, and I'm like, all right, I see you putting these dudes through these dribbling joints. Let me guard this shit. Let me guard this shit. But let's guard it with 4 other players on the floor because you don't got that much space to do all the shit that you think you're doing. We got an opportunity now to expose this because it's fucking up the game. It's fucking up the game because now if you want to try to get fouls, T-Mac talked about it. He's training his son 3 dribbles max because not everybody gets the opportunity to dribble the fucking air out of the ball. You don't get the. So if you can guard a guy with 3 dribbles max and you can shut him down and know he got to pass it by the 4th dribble.
There's other shit going on in the court, right? That's just fine one-on-one.
Right.
But now you put 8 other players on the court.
Yeah.
That space is getting eaten up. There's a dude coming to smack from behind, whatever it may be. So it all looks great. Like you see all the videos, trash can be killing that trash can. That trash can work. But real life, that trash can is a human being moving. That's fucking
show.
Here's a real problem too with trainers. The moves they're teaching, they've never fucking done. They've never actually applied it.
And never was successful with it either.
Like, I don't mind you being a trainer, because sometimes, you go through your college career and you didn't make it. You're trying to use what you're learning now onto the youth. But at the end of the day, the moves that you are trying to teach them, you actually never done yourself. So you're giving them all this baggage with they don't know how to use this.
Outlet.
Like I'll see moves done on the side, baseline side, and they sitting here doing this back in the back. Where the fuck you gonna do that at?
Where?
What the fuck are you doing? You can't do that fucking combo on the baseline. Half the moves you're teaching is ISO, straight top of the key, 1-4 flat.
1-4 flat shit,
right?
nigga.
You have those moves, you have side moves, and you have baseline moves. If you think you're gonna push them, step back, hit them with boom, and go, you shouldn't get paid. I'm sorry, you can't do none of the shit you're teaching on the baseline like it's you can't do this shit.
But that also comes with IQ.
Then I'm go across the lane, no the fuck you not.
That comes with IQ as well. Like, perfect example of me playing tennis, for example. I can go into a tennis lesson and a coach can be telling me something. I know if this is stupid. I should know. You shouldn't be in there just doing whatever somebody tells you to do. Like, you've also got to use your own IQ and say, am I really going to use it? Like, you've played basketball. You know damn well that move ain't going to work on the baseline. So get rid of this guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a part of the player's issue as well. Stop letting people tell you bullshit and you paying them.
I walk into a gym and I can tell you right now, motherfucker might not know me, may think I'm trash and all that. I'm watching you work out. I'm gonna shut that shit off. I ain't even gotta guard you. I'm gonna play off the ball. I'm gonna guard the worst nigga on the floor. You're gonna be the best nigga. You're gonna think you're gonna get your shit off on here. I'm loading up. I'm loading up. Why is this nigga always in the way? Because you trash and you got your head down and you're doing all this dribble too much shit. And, man, that nigga came to our gym. That nigga came to our gym with that shit. He never came back. He never fucking came back. He never fucking came back. And it's because he play a certain way that is beneficial to him, but it don't got results in the league because you never played in the league. I would rather get my game from a Gilbert, a Steve Francis, a Brandon Jennings that's went in there and did these things and got success from it than a nigga that's just doing it for views and trying to get the hype off of it and get credit for your talent. It's like, these niggas are not getting credit.
Are you talking about a certain person?
Nah. I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about all of them.
Hold on.
I'm talking about all of them.
No, but there is a guy named Dribble Too Much, though.
Yeah, I know.
You talking about him?
He's in Dribble Too Much.
No, he came in the gym.
Yeah, he's talking about him.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't know his name was John. I know he came in the gym.
He's talking about a specific guy. Yes, he is.
But I'm talking about Chris Brinkley. I'm talking about all the guys who train guys and they taking credit for their work that they're putting in. It's like, these guys got natural abilities, but you guys ain't never shown the results behind what you're teaching them.
But I listen, NBA is different, right? NBA is different because we have different rules. If you're a high school player and someone's using I coach or I train NBA players and they're giving you this bag, I'm telling you right now, the shit ain't gonna work. You ever heard of a fucking zone?
Man.
Huh? Your shit don't work in zone. That's why you're getting fucked up in these high school games. You're the best player and they sit in the fucking 2-3 and you sitting there like,
I gotta pass it.
Yeah, that shit don't work on zones, right?
Gotta pass.
Because there's no zone in the NBA like that.
Yeah.
That shit don't work on a boxing one.
Yeah.
Now, you don't know how to score in a boxing one. You don't know how to score in a triangle and two. You don't know how to score in a press because that's your level.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get a trainer that's training you for that level.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro.
Your baggage does not mean shit if a motherfucker put a boxing one.
That's true.
You sit here, shake you, stolen.
That's true.
Oh, you didn't know that man was coming?
And they don't know how bad they look.
They doing 1-2-2 press. They doing
all that.
Like, get through the levels first. Understand how to catch and shoot, move without the ball, flash in. This is the zone. This is a 2 right here. Flash in right here, right? This is but he's gonna suck in. Throw that over there. Like you have to understand the level you're at and train your body for that level.
Yes.
Once you dominated that level, the next level's college has a little bit more spacing.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of same kind. They're gonna compact it.
Better players.
When you get to the
also.
NBA, it becomes a different level.
Yep. And they're teaching them to fall in love with having the ball, not getting off the ball. Like if you pass and move Steph Curry without the ball, get it back, learn that if you're a good player, you always gonna get the ball back. You just gotta know how to screen for another teammate. Get your teammate involved. Back screen. I'm gonna be wide open because if they stupid, he gonna stay on me, he gonna be open. If they smart, they gonna stay on him, I'm gonna be open. This is what basketball's about.
I was watching, I know y'all watch AAU basketball.
Yeah.
And here, some of y'all kids out there, I'm gonna show you what the reason that some of y'all are having trouble. Right? This is a 2-3. I pass the ball, right? I'm swinging it.
He's standing there.
The 3-point line is right there. They back up by the half court to get the outlet pass, to pass it, right? To back up. I'm like, yo, won't y'all get to the 3-point line?
Step in.
Get to the fucking
shoot it,
3-point. Everybody get to the 3-point line. So when you pass it, it comes to you. You got your shot. You can shoot the shot. Yeah. But the fact that you got to back up and then try to take a dribble, then they close that gap. Now you got to pass it. Then you're gonna back up. And I'm sitting here like, I would have took 12 shots by now.
Oh,
man. I would have took 12 shots. Would have been back down and back
Down and back,
before.
for
Y'all
sure.
spent 30. Listen, I passed it. They messed up on the rotate.
You
Get to
stood
that
in,
spot.
yeah.
So when it comes back to you, you can shoot. The fact that you're backing up as an outlet pass. I don't need no fucking outlet pass. I didn't even dribble jet.
Nope.
But
And it's called getting to the seams. When you get into the seams of a
to the
fucking
seams.
zone,
Get to the seams.
nigga, you make them drive, kick. This nigga got a wide open 3 now instead of us just swinging it around the perimeter.
Just pass the ball. I'm like,
What are we doing?
And Brandon, you have the unique experience of going straight from high school, playing pro in Italy. But how much is high school, college to blame for this shit? We talked about this before. A lot of college coaches, I don't give a fuck about Gil getting you to the league. I just give a fuck about getting my next contract. So we're gonna play a bullshit style that's really only gonna work for college, that's not gonna translate to the NBA. And it just is what it is. So now you come into the league, and Rashad, like you saying, you don't know those terminologies.
Weird.
You don't know all that information.
Nothing.
Like, so now you start the league, and it's like, what the fuck y'all talking
I will say
about?
this, as a college coach, that's not your business. That's not your job. Because I'm saying, because you have to think about your entire roster does not consist of all NBA players. So you're gonna have to dumb some stuff down. Everybody's not NBA level. You gotta be able to make them all play together. So you can have a little sprinkle to try to assist that one player you know that can get to that next level. But in order for them to all play together in college, you gotta, the scheme gotta be.
but that's you should be, your teaching should be for
The next level.
no,
But-
for everyone who can't make it to the NBA.
But if they're not skill ready for that or IQ ready, you got to put something together.
Yeah, pass, cut, get to the open spot. If you don't get it, cut through.
No, I'm
If
talking
you
about NBA,
What I'm saying
like,
is, if
upper echelon
you backdoor, continue your back.
those are basic
But that's what
basketball
I'm saying.
stuff.
So, a player who has the natural ability, that just enhances
Yes.
his skill.
Yes.
Like I had the ball all the time in high school. In college, I didn't have the ball.
Right.
I had to run the floor, cut, back door, like you know what I mean? But that's something I had to learn because there was no plays coming for me. So I'm gonna get the ball. Well, everybody's focusing on all these guys. I'm gonna just cut, back door, slice. But you have to be. But I had that in high school when I played adult league, right? Adults
Everybody
ain't
didn't do
passing
that.
you the ball.
Everybody
They ain't passing you the ball.
But you have to understand, Gilbert, like, don't compare yourself. Like, you
But what I'm
can't-
saying is I had to play in situations where I don't have the ball to understand how to get the ball.
But you were still Gilbert Arenas. Everybody isn't Gilbert Arenas.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you are. You've always been yourself.
Yeah, but I wasn't never the best player on the court.
Yeah, so what he's saying is when he went to Arizona, coming out of high school, he had the ball was taken out of his hand. He was forced to then learn how to play
I'm
off
saying
the ball.
in high school, the reason that you were able to do that in college is because of what you did in high school.
No, that's not how that works.
That's what I would think, because that's what happened to me in high school. I was the same thing. I never passed. I always had the ball. When I went to college, I had an All-American at center. I got to pass her the ball. Like, I got to actually play team basketball, but that's because of the player I am. Everybody's not
But
like
how did that affect you?
It affected my numbers,
See, it didn't affect my numbers.
Yeah, but mine did. Mine did because, like I said, I'm going to play team basketball. In high school, I was the scorer. I had to do all these things, but in college, I had another role. But I have an IQ. Everybody don't have that.
But that's what I'm saying. My scoring didn't drop because I learned how to score without the ball now.
Yeah. It's harder when you have like I have other players too. I have one of the best shooters in our
I don't know what you're trying to say.
No, I'm saying that the higher your IQ, the more talent you have, the easier you are to coach and learn. A lot of players aren't like that, and just because they go to college doesn't mean they have an IQ.
I know, yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
I'm saying the coaches, you're saying that he was talking about the coaches should be preparing them to play in the NBA. And I said, everybody can't prepare for that. That was my point.
He said that. Oh, I said everyone should, your college system should be around of just everyone moving and like I played in Princeton, I played.
But some level, to your point, everybody not going to make it to that next level. But if I'm a college coach and I've got NBA level talent on my team, I've got to get those guys ready.
Yeah,
because in theory it'll make recruits.
You can try.
Like, look what I did for him. I can do this for you.
But the college level is the college level. It's the intermediate level of professional. So to both points is you have to, one, prepare for the next level and also get the rookie up to a standard of knowing that, hey, this is a pro-style set that we're going to have to understand how the fundamentals of the game, like he's saying, everything meshes. But I wanted to hear what Brandon had to say about the Italy thing.
So my experience, I mean, through high school, I mean, I had my way. Of course, you know, the AAU team, SCA, 38-0, and then Oak Hill kind of had my way. I didn't really learn how to start really playing basketball until I went to Italy. That's when I had a whole year of just, because that's when I had to, you know, I had to change who I was, my game. But it also got me drafted higher because everything I learned in Italy helped me in the workouts. So, you know, I didn't play a lot. I only averaged like 5 points or whatever overseas. But once I got into those workouts, I was on another level from everybody. The only thing is I just couldn't keep my mouth shut. But it's because I was kicking everybody's ass. So I felt like I was the best. But yeah, I think that's when my IQ changed and understanding spots and understanding how to play and, you know, not just going full speed. You know, when you're young, you just taking off and, you know, overseas you had to, you know, play half court and, you know, understand angles and cuts.
The flow of the game was different.
Yeah, I think that's what helped me more than anything. Like,
and overseas, you got to understand it's a bonus of college. It's like the next level up than college because it's the same system, same format, where it's 3 in the key, motherfuckers is playing zone, they might throw a boxing 1 on you, they might throw a triangle and 2 on you, but it's grown-ass motherfuckers out there
way more physical.
who've been out there, they're 35, 38, they've been out there, you know, doing this shit for a long time. So when you go overseas, especially for you at a young age, me, I went during my prime, so I had to adjust from NBA, learning the fucking lane is open, ISOs, I got all this, thinking that I'm gonna do the same shit over, no. It was eye-opening. It was like, damn, they play college ball over here. I gotta dumb my shit down because this ain't the NBA.
Yeah, and like I remember my first year, that was my rookie year playing professionally. My rookie year, I'm playing against Travis Best and Earl Boykins. Like, you know, they're teaching me things, you know, getting, you know, advice from Travis Best and Earl Boykins. You know, I was put right up in the fire, and they was hooping over there. So
Travis was a beast.
I mean, Travis Best. I mean, yeah, he got game. He got game.
In what year?
The last years.
No, I mean, what year was this? 2009?
It's like 2008, 2009. I mean, he's still running the 1. I mean, he's still a vet. He's still Travis. Like Travis. I mean, he never played overseas. It's different though. Like it's huh?
That don't count.
No. This is wrong. Italy.
China is not the same.
This is your league. Your league
no,
is
it's not the same.
Your league is way better. Your league is different.
No, it's not. And I was in China too. No, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
China's just more.
Your league and China is not the same.
China reminds me of the what's the Globetrotters kind of like.
What I'm
It's
saying is,
gimmicky. It's like
You let Travis Best bust your ass or something?
I didn't say he bust my ass.
He said he was teaching him.
advice.
He said he was teaching him.
I didn't say nothing about.
He was like 40.
I never said nothing. I said he was giving me advice. I'm just saying.
I thought he was like, you was bum. Like, what is he like? He was like 40 at the time?
He was just running the one, dog.
That's what I remember.
I wasn't even playing like that.
I remember I was running around. I'm like, you got to retire, brother. You better retire, homeboy.
Was he with Indiana then? Was he
Like
in
Miami?
it's just hard. Do they when
Man, I just remember Travis Best from he got game.
Me too.
That's why I was hyped
That's
to meet
probably
him.
his best basketball.
Sip Rogers, nigga.
when you played in China, were they still smoking cigarettes in the arena?
yeah.
See, why would you take that serious? Why would you take a league like
See, but China's not like Europe. See, Europe, you would have,
Exactly.
like you really
can't
gotta
do
hoop.
that.
Like you
Yeah.
really gotta.
But you're a baby
China
still
was
smoking
so
cigarettes too.
All that.
They smoking heaters, throwing flares and shit,
Yeah.
panties.
Yes. Once you understand basketball and understand all the elements, it's easy.
So
Boxing ones, boxing twos,
But that's him.
boxing ones, boxing twos.
He would struggle in Europe.
But look,
What?
yeah, Gil never
was
had a
struggling.
nigga
Your
sub
league?
in.
You would have to get
Sub
off
in
that
to
hill.
foul you
You would have
6
to-
straight times.
You would have
Niggas will foul you 6
and you
straight
and
times.
you definitely have to play defense.
Okay, I don't. Do you know what offense I was in?
That's fine. That's fine.
I was in the Princeton offense. What is that?
The hardest off is the guard.
Pass and cut. There's no drip. There's no Kyrie in it. That's why the illusion of I was this dribbler makes it
when
like
were you in the
I'm
Princeton?
passing and cutting.
When were you in the Princeton offense?
His whole Washington.
So you feel like you pass the ball a lot?
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Look, because
He doesn't understand.
Nah, his offense was catered around him coming off of a lot of different actions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he took advantage of those options because he knew those
You're
options.
thinking
But-
general point guard passing
No,
and making
but
assists.
but also in a Princeton offense, that also gives the idea that anybody can score the ball.
Yes. That's the offense. It was the Princeton
Okay.
offense.
But he had the options
He was
because he was the
scoring all the
best. He was the
balls.
best scorer on the team.
So I had to find out how to manipulate the system.
You manipulated the Princeton offense is what he
For
did.
sure.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
why
cool.
it was hard to guard.
And
Yeah.
Jameson was the
Yeah.
second.
So there was
But
nothing you
the
can do.
original,
What I'm saying is
yes.
you couldn't deny me. I backdoor.
Yep.
You sag off. I flare out.
Dribble handoff.
Dribble handoff.
Oh.
Back.
Yes.
Like there's nothing
Yes.
you can do.
Rejecting
Got
the
it.
screen.
So-
Nigga, that was our scout report.
Yeah.
Make Gilbert use the screen.
Make
he's
me
gonna
use the
reject.
screen.
He's gonna reject the screen. He's gonna go baseline every time. It's like make him use the screen.
So hypothetical for y'all, what percent of NBA players wouldn't make it overseas versus what percent of overseas players wouldn't cut in the NBA?
That was a stupid ass question.
I mean,
It's different,
I mean,
though.
it's just.
How am I supposed to know?
I mean, it's
Because you
different
are
game.
all knowing Gilbert Arenas.
I mean, it's a different game.
Coaching is different.
Completely
The coaching is
different
different. The
Coaching-
playing, the traveling, all that.
And
Players.
I got it.
2 practices a day.
Man,
At least 150 plus. About 150.
What?
so that's like
What,
half.
make it,
That's
you said?
Yeah, that'll
So
make it overseas. Yeah, that's there's 150 euros, so at least them, right? At least 150 euros,
Yeah.
and then we can throw some Americans in there.
Oh God.
All right, so last question on this topic, but how much does talent cover up a good player with a low basketball IQ? Well, I'm sure you guys have seen dudes in your time that can literally just skate by just being more talented.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame. There's
You
Hall
know
of Fame.
what?
Yeah, that's Hall of
We're
Fame.
We're talking about stupid in the motherfucker. What are you talking about?
Not for sure. Not for sure. Not for
It's
sure.
kind of similar about how, like, you know how you say the 82 games, it's a whole one season, the playoffs another season. I think that the low IQ players struggle in the playoffs
they do.
because the game completely changes. It's a whole nother season. You got to beat somebody in a series, not a one night type of thing. And that's another example of what I was talking about with the Celtics, what I saw happen to them. I feel like they played a lot of bad basketball in the playoffs.
So what does that say about the guys who didn't flourish in the playoffs that were high talents? Like the Tracy McGrady's, like the James Hardens, like the guys, Chris Paul's, the guys that didn't get over the hump in the playoffs because the game changes in the playoffs.
But what's getting over the hump?
Wait, yeah.
Wait,
You mean
there's different ways.
themselves?
There's different.
Yeah.
I'm not calling. I'm
know what I'm saying? Themselves as players or team?
Or the team.
We're talking about players themselves. Like if you average 35 in regular season, and then in the playoffs you're averaging 21.
Embiid.
That's yeah. I'm talking about
Embiid.
the play. I'm talking about the team. Then I'm talking about the talent.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the players.
Yeah.
Like if you talk about like a talent like T-Mac, and then you go to the playoffs and you expect that talent to over exceed and take you to the chip. but it don't. It doesn't make him a. The question is he a low IQ player because he doesn't know how to adjust? Does he?
But it wasn't just.
Wait, hold on. There's a difference between having a championship team and having a team and you're the best player.
Of course.
Right? So when we go into the playoffs, right? How many teams making the playoffs?
16.
16? Yeah. There's only really 3 teams that can win it. Everybody else is not good enough.
Yeah. Right.
Right? So the other 13, because they didn't make it to the championship, we can't call them low IQs.
No, that's what I'm saying.
There's only 3.
That's why.
So Tracy McGrady's never had a team.
He had Yao and them.
That wasn't a team, not a championship.
Not a champ, but a team that can get you out of the first round.
That's just. But that has nothing.
But I'm not.
He performed.
Yeah, I'm not poking at him and saying he's a low IQ. I'm just saying, as far as his talent, being a great talent and talent like that, we expect you to go to this level. And it's like, why is it that you don't?
Because maybe if you average 29 in the regular season and average 31 in the playoffs, you are a super stud. Remember, you still got other players who probably. Yeah. That probably is a shell shock for him.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like if you have all low IQ players on your team, then you're going to hit a wall.
But those same players got us to the playoffs.
They got you to the playoffs. Now the playoffs is, I'm reading everything about you now.
Yeah.
Right? So now you sitting like, I can't go left.
Yeah.
That's what we was talking about before the show.
What do I do?
You got to, as a winner, you got to be able to adjust to win because we know that as a winner, we're going to do whatever it takes to win. Mm-hmm. Now, we know they stopping us here. Playbook says they're going to take this away from us. Mm-hmm. What's our adjustment? What is our secondary adjustment that's going to take us over the hump? If you don't have none, it's like James Harden against Utah when they started playing behind him in that fucking ISO. It was like, what the fuck is James doing? You don't got no midi?
Nope.
You going to the lane and you just throwing this shit away, and all of a sudden we lose in the first round, second round. What is it? First round exit because they made an adjustment and you didn't.
Wait, Houston won out, right?
Against the Jazz?
Yeah.
What
He
year?
was playing that stupid ass, but when Ricky Rubio was sitting behind him.
That was a first round exit, wasn't it?
I don't think. I've never seen James lose first round.
Yeah, no,
he's always lost second round.
He's on it. Look
No, you know I'm on the computer.
Yeah,
Ricky Rubio got his ass fired after that.
But that was Quinn Snyder. That was Quinn Snyder and them. But it was just like, it was weird to see niggas playing defense on him like that, like it was okay.
I think he bust their ass that series.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen James get.
Was that what 2017, 2018?
27.
Is the MVP? You know, they beat him 4-1.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Who? Utah won, right?
Yeah,
Utah won.
No.
Houston beat him.
Houston fucked
So he's been second round out.
Yeah.
James is second round now.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but he beat the Jazz every time he's seen them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That was just horrible. Like playing behind him.
What are y'all?
If you want to stop him, just push him left. Left means he can only go all the way. He's not gonna. He can't shoot that step back going left.
Yeah. But let's keep this thing moving and progressing. Another healthy segment, healthy debate, healthy discussion. No voices were raised.
Oh shit!
Nobody.
Right.
But shit's about to get
Let's
raised.
go.
You trying to get the shit going then, huh?
Let's go.
Ain't no gentleman's cut.
go.
Brandon ain't
We
brought
need
the
that
gentleman's
Where
cut.
the gentleman's cut at? Tell Mr.
What's up, Steph?
Mr. P, we need Steph.
I got y'all.
Okay.
My bad.
He keeping
We
it
know
to
you
himself.
got about 20 bottles.
He
That's
keeping it
fucked
to
up. We know
himself.
you got. We seen it on your IG. Goddammit.
Can't hit all them 20.
He keeping it to himself.
16 just as much.
Shit, no, I be fucking drinking. I like to drink. Nah,
Turned up at the crib.
Let's talk a little bit about player empowerment. Player empowerment is here. It ain't going nowhere. Past few years, we've seen star players flex on teams to force their way out of situations that they deemed undesirable. But Austin Rivers is not rolling. On a recent episode of his podcast, Rivers had this to say about players like Damian Lillard forcing trades with multiple years left on their contract.
Regardless of how good of a player you are, man, the NBA is not, it's a privilege. And if you were a free agent, then you could choose where you were going to go.
Right.
That's the business.
Yeah.
But when you're not and you sign a deal, man, that's part of the business, bro. If you get traded somewhere, like, you got to go play, man. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
and this started with like James and Ben and all these guys doing this shit. It's bad for the league. This is why our CBA deal that we just signed, and I don't even want to get heavy into that. That thing is, don't even get me started on that deal that we got going, because it's top heavy. That's why you're seeing all these teams right now with, you either make 50 million or 2. It's the most lopsided contract teams. I mean, it's a joke, bro. I can't tell you how many mid-level guys are signing for vet minimum around the NBA. It's laughable.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a scary dynamic when stars start acting like this.
They had the porno
Just
music
say
on there
something
too.
first. So he records his podcast with the camera that close to him, like up in his shit
I thought
like
he was in
that.
jail.
Austin Rivers?
Austin Rivers?
Oh, I thought that was Andrew Tate.
You know what?
Wait, what?
You ever shut the
That wasn't Andrew Tate.
No, that's Austin Rivers.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that is not Andrew Tate.
thought
And
he-
he's not in jail.
I thought he was in jail.
He's not in jail anymore.
Andrew Tate. That ain't Andrew.
No.
No, that's
Because I'm like,
No.
he gotta grow his hair faster.
He
that's
sounds like a company man. That's what he sounds like to me. And if you were to talk to any other players in other leagues, they would die for that type of CBA, like other professional sports. Like, come on, like, stop being a hater. Like, he just sounds like a company man for real.
Is player empowerment bad for the league?
Player empowerment.
Players being able to do, Austin Rivers is basically saying, I keep on calling him Austin Reeves too, their names are too similar, but like Austin Rivers is saying, because it's,
So that ain't Andrew Tate.
No.
Okay, just all right. Just making sure. Just
I say this.
because I was half. It was close up. I didn't get the
He's
full
right.
view.
He
So
was
that's
right up on his shit.
I'll say
that's Doc's son.
Yeah, Doc's
Okay,
son. Doc's son has privilege as well, but I'll say that if you got to put yourself as a player in the other, in the other position. You know what I'm saying, if you the owner and you giving out these contracts, you expect people to follow through with the contract as is, and if we feel like you are a better piece somewhere else and we want somebody else, we can trade you.
Exactly.
Back in the day, you go to that team and you played. That was the history of the league.
Yeah.
But now that has changed. So since that has changed, we either adjust or we complain. So he's just complaining because now the mid-level guys have not only been gone, but they're never coming back because it's 50 or 2. So
That's terrible, though.
You got to take.
But that's terrible. Like
we talked about IT.
That is terrible what he said. The 50-2 is ridiculous.
No.
Like,
what
that's-
he's saying,
like,
it's
true, though.
He is saying some real shit.
No, he is. Like, but that's how it's always been. That's like what sports is what America is. You're trying to get rid of the middle class.
Yep.
Yes.
Right? Trying to get rid of middle class, either rich or poor.
Yep.
Right? Same thing in the NBA. Because the NBA, 50 million don't hurt me. Right? 50 million don't hurt me. 50, and then I got Tatum, right? Now, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, making around now 20 million each.
That's
That becomes
That's gonna cut
you know what I mean? So when you look at Miami's roster, it goes big money, nothing.
Those are all wins.
Yes.
It goes whammy. And
Yes.
they don't want those 7 million, 8 million a year, 9, because there's too many of those guys. So they're trying to just
that's a
make it higher,
bigger
low.
majority,
Yeah.
obviously, of the league compared to stars.
But that was the mid-level exception that we had when we were all playing. That's where the Corey Maggettis came in, the Catino Mobleys. They were mid-level guys that I looked up to, like, trying to get those type of contracts. Like, I knew I could get a mid-level. If I didn't get a big deal, I'm getting mid-level for sure, because I could produce mid-level numbers. But now it's like you got a nigga like IT that don't get a chance to hoop because he refuses to take the 2 or the 1 because his value is more. And you look at a nigga like Nate Robinson, when he was playing, he was 20 a game and he had to take a 1 year, 2 mil. J.R. Smith had to take less just because like these guys are 15, 20 mil guys. They taking what they gotta take, which is even worse because now you're devaluing the market because you are at this level value and you're taking less. That's why the collective bargaining is 50-2 because we settled on that shit.
I think that it's creating generational wealth for a lot of black men. I'm here for it.
Yeah, at the top, though.
Yeah.
And
Here
look,
for it.
millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars, you can still live off that. You can take it. I'm here for what these players do with that wealth. I want to see if we become business owners, if we become entrepreneurs after your sport and things like that. Because if you're getting this type of money, like you should be able to do something with it.
But we've already
It's only
seen,
three,
we've seen
but it's
that.
only gonna be like 3 guys.
No,
That's
but,
enough.
But we've seen it. We've seen all these guys make this money. We still don't have a gym. You still don't have a gym. Kobe was the only guy that was going to do the Mamba Academy. That's a gym.
Well, there's other guys doing other things.
You got LeBron. You got all these guys getting this big money. We don't have a facility. We don't have a community. The NBA players, the players.
We do have one.
Yes, they do.
The NBPA. It's up in New York.
That's theirs. That's the NBA Players Association. I'm talking about amongst the community of players doing
These
business
guys
together.
aren't like that.
Doing business together. We're talking about generational wealth and be there for the black man. Right?
I'm talking about,
but then niggas don't want to get together.
There's individuals still. There's families. You know what I mean?
It's just like family type of families.
I'm talking about as players coming together to create things for the little man. As getting the two guy that's not going to survive after 2 years.
Yes, he should.
He's not going to survive, but he's not.
He should.
But he's not because it doesn't string out like that.
That's your
so
issue.
the 50. So the guy with 50. He's going to get 50 in next year. The next year, he's got 200, right? And it's like, well, at least if you're going to give back, let's create something for the future of the players, like a facility, like a community of hoopers that can come and be here and play here and train here. But we don't have the camaraderie amongst players.
I think that's probably something that I don't know. Is that a collective thing that players want? Is that a thing? Because I've never heard anybody say that this is something.
I hear it every time I talk to guys, especially the guys that are out of the league. They're like, damn,
but
man.
That's the out of the league thing.
Yeah. Because the niggas that's made all the money, they not going to have that conversation because they got the money.
So, I mean,
but I feel like we do have that, though. It's in New York at the NBPA. I mean, that's us.
That's one place.
I mean, we have some.
That's one place in New York.
I mean, they have a gym.
Football have any? Doesn't it?
Yeah,
I don't think no sport.
Yeah, I'm about to say. I
didn't know that was something that people wanted. I didn't even know. I'm thinking about like me. If I was a player like that and I made that kind of money, it's my opportunity to build something for my legacy, for my family, for my generation. Just as you see these owners of these teams, you can't pass a job down. You can't pass your NBA career down to your children. These NBA owners, they can pass down their business to their children. So for me, I would love to be in a situation where I can make that kind of money and I can create something to pass to my children and vice versa. Like, that's what I'm on.
So, I mean, you got to see both sides of it, though, right? $50 million guys, I don't give a fuck. I'm making $50 million a year. The $2 million guys, but the reality is, in the eyes of most Americans, will never see that type of bread.
That, yes.
I don't give a fuck. You making $2 million.
Figures.
But
yes.
What?
It's not reality.
That's what y'all not understand. It's not reality.
It's not reality. It sounds cute when you say, oh, I make this. Well, your lifestyle is to that. So if your lifestyle is $500 to $3,500 a month, $2 million, sounds amazing. Well, if you're making $2 million and that's what you came into and your lifestyle is around the $2 million, you're technically living like $3,500 person.
A regular person.
You're living like that person. Your expectations.
So what are you saying, that they shouldn't?
They're not.
No, I'm asking you, so you're saying that they should make more money.
Ooh.
So you're saying
the 2 and the 50.
If it's I don't know.
It's lopsided.
It's like if they took out the middle class, then
it's
just like
maximum.
America, if you take out the middle class,
shit falls apart.
Shit falls apart.
I mean, look at the Suns as a prime example, right? They got Bill, they got KD, they got Book. Once that deal first happened, everybody's like, well, how the fuck are they gonna fill out the rest of this roster?
Yeah, small guys.
Yeah. Obviously, Aiden got a bag too, but then after that, it was like, damn, he signed for that, or damn,
who's willing to take less to come in here? Eric Gordon, certain guys that are like,
that's your role. That's your jet.
But as
everybody,
I mean, in that situation, I'm gonna take less because one year I'm on.
No,
1 year playing with them, I might be on.
No, you're not. That's not how it works.
I mean,
we all have
you win a championship, nobody remembers you. You're out of the league.
We all have choices.
That's a lie. They gave Austin Reeves just 50-something. So
he played.
Okay, so if I'm on a minimum and I play on the Phoenix Suns,
you have an opportunity to go get that same thing.
Bruce Brown, similar
that's an opportunity. I'm going to get paid.
But these are young guys, right? We're talking about the young guys that are coming in on the minimum.
Get on your hustle. Get on your grind.
But you've been in the league for 6-7 years.
Okay, yep.
You're looking for a mid-level. There is no mid-level available for you. You can only take what these young guys are getting, which is the minimum.
I'm jaded.
I gotta see what the deal is.
Yeah,
we're just going off of his
I'm
word.
jaded. I'm looking at NFL contracts. The NBA zip it. Every single 1 through 15 fucking zip it. It's
I don't give a fuck about the NFL.
No, I'm just saying, in perspective, you have to know and appreciate what you got.
No.
Yes, you do.
No, you chose that sport.
No, I'm talking about NBA players.
No,
the mid-level guys. Be happy. Could be worse.
But there ain't
could
no
be.
mid-level guys.
It
That's
could
what
be.
we're saying.
The worst
Ain't
is
no
No.
mid-level.
put me at $2 million.
Okay, that could be worse.
You think I give a fuck about the person who lives outside this gate?
Exactly.
If my air don't work, I'm mad.
So then,
And I don't give a fuck if you
and
don't
you
have
think
air
the $50
conditioning
million
all year
guy give a
round.
fuck if
That
you
ain't
don't?
my problem.
And the
I don't
same
have it
thing.
now.
And it's the same thing for the $50 million player. You think I give a fuck that you're only getting $2 million?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
good.
the point. So don't bring up
So-
another sport.
No, I'm
And don't
just
ask
saying.
me to come out here and scream for you.
No.
Don't ask me to
Then-
motherfucking pass you the
then-
motherfucking rock. All that
Sub
other
you
shit.
out.
Then-
Sub me out, nigga.
Then-
Shit, you need us to win.
You gotta
need
get
the
it how you
middleman.
live.
You need the little
You gotta
guys.
get
it. It's hard to argue 'cause we
Peyton
don't
Manning,
know what- we don't
Tom
know what
Brady.
it
You
is.
need
Yes.
the fucking
But-
offensive
but we
line,
gotta
nigga.
get it how you
need the
live.
line.
We
You
don't
need
know
them
what
niggas to block for
But
you.
we don't know what it is. We're arguing on something we don't know. We just hearing what he said.
We do know the new CBA benefits star players. It seems like that's kind of a
Yeah.
traditional
It should.
trend.
Yeah.
Okay.
As it
But
should.
the
That's
vocal
what he was
players
talking
in the
about.
league
As it should.
aren't getting that kind of bread. So how come we don't have those who are the majority try and rise up and essentially say,
Exactly.
the question now is, will we ever see a war between the NBA's middle class, lower class players?
No,
and
they
the
don't
stars?
have a voice.
No.
They don't have a voice.
So it's basically like-
you talked
No, they do
about
have a-
that in
No,
the collective bargaining. You was like the $50 million niggas are going to fight more because they don't really give a fuck about the small bread that's being. But you can't have the small bread niggas talking for the big.
But no. See, that's the problem, right? You, when you're trying to break in law, right? When you're trying to change stuff, you need the hierarchy who don't care either way to help, right? So let's take it out of basketball. Let's say the LGBT. You need the straight community to combat you on your views, so you can see the loopholes that will happen later on, right? It'll help you with your laws if someone's combating what you're trying to do.
Challenging you, yeah.
Right? So you can, that makes sense, so let me do that. So if you have the $50 million guys, the top tier, arguing with the owners, they can stand their ground. Well, if you have all $1 million, $2 million players, right? Time fucks them up. We gonna have a lockout. Oh shit, I gotta pay my bills. Now they start thinking irrational. That hurts them in the long run, just so they can get their next check.
Yeah.
Big money don't fall like that.
No.
And that's what happened in the 99
That's what
lockout.
happens every
The
year.
lockout.
Yeah.
That's why I say when you look at that roster, if I don't see LeBron, K, Booker, Steph,
when I was naming all the players?
you name
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
If I don't see that in the room, y'all lost.
Lost. You ain't got no leverage.
Like when Charles Barkley was in there, and he's like, "No, we're holding out. We're gonna hold out." And the rest of the group, the Oakleys, and them like, "Nah, we need to end this lockout."
Get out of here, yeah.
Right? That's you're gonna sign like when there's more, and that's why football don't have guarantees.
Yes.
There's more.
Too many of them,
There's
yeah.
more. Everyone shouldn't get a vote.
Yes.
Nah. I'm sorry. Take 2 players off of each team. Let them vote. The rest of y'all shut the fuck up. Sit. If you got to put your house up for sale, hey, when it's all said and done, you're gonna be in a better position.
So think
you
about
might lose today,
But
but you're gonna be in a better position.
Yeah.
If there's no $50 million like Charles Barkley, if there's nobody to stand up with those low-level guys, there ain't no conversation for the low-level guys. They lose automatically. Like you said, the $50 million guys, whether they do this shit or not, nigga, we good. We good.
That's what it is. We lock out.
I go home. But if there's no
vacation a little bit early.
But if there's no league after that, it's like, well, we don't care either because we got our bread, but there's no league. So these niggas are like, we'll take whatever you give us, which is the 51-49, all the shit that the Austin's talking about, the 50-2. It's like the low-level niggas is taking whatever because they need to pay their bills. It's like, man, look, take it, man.
Yeah,
we can't hold out just because.
That's why they shouldn't have a voice.
But that's what I'm saying. So if there is no $50 million nigga as the voice, there's no win, period. There's no competition. There's no nothing.
I've always.
And that's what he's mad about. He's like, what's happening with Dame and all these other guys is they're controlling the narrative for all of the guys.
No, they're controlling the narrative for themselves.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
It's
they are.
everybody else.
No, because Dame and them are not actually in those meetings. We're just doing like, I signed this contract. I'm not happy.
I'm out.
Trade me somewhere. Right? Why the fuck do I supposed to sit at work not happy?
No, it's not
Because
about.
if you're not happy with me at work, you getting rid of me.
But
Exactly. They can do what
that's
they
not
want
the
to do.
I don't give a fuck
conversation,
about.
though.
I just signed 6 years.
That's not the conversation. The conversation is when you ask for the trade and we trade you, go play. Don't sit out.
No.
He's saying what you niggas want to do is you want to get traded to your team.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
So that's what they saying. The
I'm working at
conversation.
Burger King. I like
the
McDonald's fried. Trade me to McDonald's.
But that's never that's
You
never
trade me to
happened.
Arby's. I don't want to be there.
That's never happened. When you got traded, you went and you
I wanted to go there.
You played.
But is that a bad thing, though?
But hold on. Now let's say they traded you and you came and this coach don't like you. He ain't got to play you, right? He won't. He won't. What's the difference?
There ain't no
Exactly.
difference.
Okay.
So is it all
Like,
leverage
well,
based
what's best
then?
for them.
But hey, at this point,
What's best for you?
whoever got the juice, use it accordingly.
I mean, much like everything else in life, though. But if you're at that top and you getting the big bag, like I feel for y'all, that sucks. But
Listen,
shit.
don't blame a player for using his power when the
Exactly.
other side uses it.
Theirs too.
We seen it, Ben, right?
Just think about how it used to be.
You
when
seen what
players
Ben?
wasn't
We don't
getting
wanna
the
play you.
money
We don't
that
need
they
you right
really
now.
deserved. You know what I mean?
Huh?
And the owners was holding out. Back, before when players weren't getting the money they really were supposed to get. There was a time when it was like that, and now it's flipped. Now we have the power, the player. They got the juice.
I think they have more power at the end of the day. The owners, players have more power, I would say, than you think it's still the same situation?
You think you have more power than a billionaire?
No, not the power. The power to choose where you
than
want
you
to go.
historically have had, I would say. It's still not. You're still not dominating because they're getting the big bread.
Listen, if them owners want to be like Puffy was in that skit or the Dave Chappelle skit, the lights is off. The lights is off.
But they wouldn't do that, though. They wouldn't.
They wouldn't, but if they wanted to.
Yeah, but they wouldn't because they're businessmen.
But the same way we're saying that the
So
50
the businessman is just going to calculate. So
Yes.
if you think you have the power, you want to be out.
But the same way we're saying the $50 million guys can be like, yo, we can lock out if you want for an extended period, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm got that bread. Well, the billionaire owners are like, shit, we can lock out longer than y'all. Like, this shit's still gonna be worth
Always.
$5
They always
billion.
can.
They don't want to.
They don't want. Obviously, they hate losing money.
That's
but-
what I said, but they don't want to.
They're greedy,
But that's what I'm saying. It's still who can hang out, it's the longest because
Who can hold their
you're still
breath the
counting your
longest.
money also.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just about if
Leverage.
you're gonna stand your ground.
But whenever I lose as an owner, I'm gonna get that shit back from y'all at some point. We're gonna take that 57 down to 51. Whatever we need to do, we're gonna
It's
always
like
get
a
our bread.
litigation lawsuit. You got your lawyers and you go into trying to sue somebody. They're like, hey man, we're gonna hold them out until
you
we
bleed out.
dry them out. Yeah, we're gonna dry them out.
Yes.
When y'all see them,
Then you gonna settle.
When y'all
Then
see-
you gonna settle.
That's
When y'all see them cases that be like 4-5 years, all they're doing is just burning through somebody else's
Somebody's money.
lawyer money.
Until they out.
Yep. Blah. I
Then they gotta settle.
gotta drop this case.
Yeah. I won.
Yep.
So let's keep this thing moving, but kind of still centric on this subject. In the last decade, we've seen NBA team valuations skyrocket, some teams by more than 10 times their original selling price. Now, this is thanks in large part to Donald Sterling being salty at his side boo for taking a picture with Magic Johnson. But in the same time frame, it's true. Magic don't take that picture with his boo. The Clippers don't sell for $2 billion to Steve Ballmer, who was thirsty to get in the league. And like we say, if the Clippers are worth $2 billion, then what are the Lakers
The
worth?
rest is history.
What are the Knicks worth? Because if y'all worth 2, then shit, we worth 5. Like, what, you know what I mean? But that's what kind of literally escalated this whole situation. But in that same time frame, player contracts, I think Kobe was the highest paid player in 2014 at like $30 million a year. Now we're around 60. So they've essentially doubled when teams have 10x, if not more. You look at MJ selling the Hornets, bought him for $275. They sold him at a $3 billion valuation in the latest news. So after French soccer star Kylian Mbappe was offered nearly $800 million for one season by Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. Who?
Al Hilal
Mbappe.
offered him $800 million.
For
1 year.
Mbappe.
offer who?
Mbappe, the soccer player.
Kylian Mbappe.
You know who that is?
No.
Yeah.
Well, then why are you saying who?
Cause I don't know what y'all saying.
Do you know who Mbappe
You don't know
I didn't know
Mbappe
y'all
is?
speaking English.
You don't know who Mbappe is?
No.
Mbappe, I thought it was a song.
He doesn't know. Who it is. He's a very famous soccer. He's a very famous soccer player.
What country does Mbappe play for again?
Africa, gotta be.
Because you wore real Real Madrid.
Where
the other day.
Africans dominating right now in Europe? Just think about the NBA.
Say it again?
Where are Africans dominating right now in Europe? Think about the NBA.
What's the fucking test now?
French,
Anyway,
France,
ignore him.
Wemby, France,
Move on.
whatever. But So Mbappe was offered nearly $800 million to leave PSG.
Where's Messi at? Well, I thought he was the best.
Messi's in Miami.
So Messi's a part of this too.
Messi's the GOAT, but Mbappe's the future.
Yeah. But Mbappe, yeah.
I thought it was Neymar.
Getting that back. What?
Neymar. No, he's in the middle. Messi's almost on his way out. Messi's about to retire soon.
It's Cristiano.
Messi like Bron, baby.
No, it's not. It's Messi,
Neymar,
Cristiano.
and then Mbappe.
No, it's Mbappe. No, it's Messi.
Ronaldo.
No.
Number one on Instagram. Number one in the world. Number one with hoes.
No.
Number one with money.
No.
Number one with accomplishments,
talent.
achievements.
Not talent.
All of that.
Not
Janky
talent.
statues.
All
Not
of that. This nigga,
talent.
hey,
All those
Portugal
things, not
porn star. He's a
talent.
Portugal porn star.
So,
Not talent.
He's a man. He's a man.
Mbappe was offered nearly $800 million for one season by Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. So several NBA stars took to Twitter or whatever that shit is called down on every day. Shit changed his name. There's some shit going on. But they're trying to get a piece of that action. Giannis tried the
was good.
Giannis tried the all black people look alike approach, tweeting, Al Hilal, you can take me, I look like Kylian Mbappe, which if you know what Mbappe look like,
He don't
it'd be
know
a lot
who
funnier
he look
because they could be cousins.
They do look alike, though.
They do look alike. And then LeBron got in on the action, tweeting a meme, trying to be like King Josiah. He said, me headed to Saudi when they called Rich Paul and Mav Carter for that 1 year deal.
I'm sure. They offered like 800 million. What?
800 million 1 year.
So just to put, it's 775, but to put that into perspective, I think we got another graphic that we want to run. So just to put that into perspective for y'all, I think that 775 million is equivalent to the top 17 NBA player salaries for 23.
That's him, Gilbert.
That's Mbappe.
To the
So he
right.
kind of look like, who do he look like? He look like,
He look like he don't speak English.
He does.
Oh, okay.
You look like one of your cousins, man.
that's what I'm saying. He look like, yeah.
Where's he from?
He look like a nigga from Carson.
Where's he from? Oh, he's French.
Look like
Look like a nigga from
You know,
he's
Africa,
He
but
from the 190.
yes.
Carson, Gardena area. Like,
definitely a Gardena.
For 1 year?
So,
Definitely a Gardena Carson.
graduated from Cal State,
They getting out
Jamaican.
bags
Like,
for soccer now. Like,
Light
he's going
skinned
over
nigga.
to Saudi, to those.
So y'all talked about Ronaldo. Ronaldo actually left to go to Saudi Arabia. I think he took a 2.5-year deal worth anywhere from like 75 mil to 200 mil. Messi came from PSG, the same team Mbappe's on, Inter Milan.
Miami.
Yeah, I think, 2.5-year deal worth somewhere around like 60 mil a year, so about 150. But let's talk about basketball now. So we talk about the NBA, we talk about salary cap, which I've never particularly been a fan of, living in America, free market capitalism, all these things we hear. How are you capping salaries, especially for a league that's predominantly black men? But how much would an international team need to offer a star to make them consider dipping from the NBA?
Hey, man.
Didn't we already have this conversation?
We did, but in light of these recent events.
And now let's see.
I got some Saudi connects because I used to live next to some Saudi. Hey, listen, Gilbert Arenas and Saudi, I lead these motherfuckers right now. Right now, 1 year deal. I'll be there.
Gil Halil.
Shit.
How much you need?
Huh?
How much would you guys? How much you think?
Halil
they would have to
Arenas.
offer? Let's say like Shy, a player like that. Like he's on the rise. He was in
I don't
the.
give a fuck about no show. I'm talking about myself.
Gilbert, you are not playing anymore.
I said this podcast. You motherfuckers right here on this couch.
We can't come with you, Gil?
Hell no. Y'all gotta do your own deal.
How much?
Can we keep the studio at least?
Hey, y'all can keep this shit.
house too.
Hell yeah.
You have it all.
About to get that Saudi money. 50 million 1 year to podcast.
Maybach, you keep the Maybach.
But we
too?
talked about this previously. I think the consensus back then was that stars wouldn't do it. But this opens up a whole nother
Yeah.
issue, right? I'm just saying, at what point now, and you got like the LeBrons of the world, but what about Ja? Oh, y'all want to suspend me for 25 games? My juice is bigger than the league. LeBron is bigger than the league.
75 for what? Well, I mean,
grass
it's hard
ain't
because he's
greener.
under contract.
Grass ain't
So-
greener on the other side.
And that we're gonna get into that. We're getting that a little bit. But
Yeah,
let's
we're under
hypothetically,
contract. That's a different
hypothetically,
discussion, right?
Let's say if he's a free agent.
I go into free agency.
Someone like Ja? Or just
A job for sure.
I would say LeBron.
100 for a year? 100 for a year should be fine.
Yeah.
500 for the year.
500 for the year. I don't think he comes back to the NBA.
Yeah, I must say. Yeah, he never did.
You pay me $5 million a year? Fuck.
500.
I'm out. I'm done.
Ain't that a 1 year deal? Wasn't that a 1 year?
Yes, that was.
That's 775
I'll be
with
the
1
most
year.
famous
Yeah.
nigga in the world.
So let's say LeBron now, and I can say LeBron. Look, you already won 4 chips, 4 finals MVPs, 4 MVPs. Your legacy in the NBA is cemented.
200.
So 200, because I was going to say like 3 to 350.
350.
But I'll give you 2-year, $400 million deal.
I take
The
that.
NBA would be. The NBA would be in that.
They'll be disgusted.
Yo, they'll
No,
be worried.
once he's like done playing.
Because that's gonna start a domino effect.
No, I don't think
would.
so.
Yes,
you're
it
getting
would.
you're getting the end of my players.
It doesn't
But-
matter though.
So let's take it a step further. So we've seen the Saudis take over corners in American sports. Live Golf ganked some of the biggest golfers in the PGA Tour, eventually forced a merger. And as much as we love the NBA as we know it now, we got to show some love to the ABA, which popped up in 1967, lasted for 9 years, but was able to more or less strong arm the NBA into forcing a merger as well. And a lot of the game as we know it now is a result of those ABA innovations, three-point line, hardship, bringing in guys, Spencer Haywood and Moses Malone, and guys who didn't have to do the 4-year joint. You know what I mean? So we've seen it before. And when that happened, I think the league was like 21 years old when the ABA launched in 67. So it made sense at that point. The NBA was still new. There was ability to push the paint. They never could get to that financial side because they couldn't get a national broadcast deal.
And then they have the black players.
But the ABA teams were smacking the NBA teams in exhibition. So imagine NBA champion takes on ABA champion, and the ABA champion busts their ass.
Smacking them.
Joking around, getting busted by the ABA team.
Yeah, because it was white versus black.
Yes.
So this brings me to our next question.
Cocaine versus the weed.
Could a heavily funded alternative basketball league come for the NBA's throne?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I already gave y'all the new game plan with the game, the world versus the dream team.
Yeah, I think
Like, let's just start creating new games.
especially basketball.
Al-Hala. Hit up Mr. B.
Especially
Mr. B got some fucking.
Mr. B got
some
China,
suggestions.
like the money that China has and the money that Saudi has. I mean, you're talking about just for shits and giggles. Just for shits and giggles, right? Who's up next year? What big name is up next year? Is Booker coming up next?
Let me see.
I'll say Booker. I'll give you, if I'm Saudi, I'll give you $500 million. You come over here and play half a year.
A lot of players would
I'm
do
out.
that.
Right?
Yeah.
Half a year.
Care about no NBA.
You can go back. You can go back. Like especially, you can go back and sign your contract at All-Star break. I just need you from here to then.
And not even to give the formula, but you'd probably have to stagger it if this was to happen over like a 3-year period, right? So you could hit the 2024 free agents, hit the 2025 free agents. It'd have to be that first class of free agents to kind of take that leap of faith. But then over those next 2 years, I could build a league
around.
No, but what I'm saying is I see if I can entice them first, right? So like let's say China, because China starts in like October, November, and they end around February.
Yeah.
Right? And I say, I give you $500 million for 32 games. Right? Now, when a player looks at the contract, you know, Booker's gonna sign $370 for 5, and he has this deal for $500,000 for 32 games. Like, no. I'm gonna sign this 5-year deal in February.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I'm just gonna miss half the season.
Yeah. What they gonna do? Not sign you? They will.
So here's the other side of it, right?
They can.
They will.
Like, y'all played in China. Did you necessarily like that experience?
No.
You miss being home, right?
Well.
I mean, don't.
Did you miss living in America, though? I would
It was
say?
solid for me, man.
I did.
Was it better?
6-star
Just the
hotel.
food.
Yeah, but was
The
it
food
better
in
than?
general, yeah.
Was it better than being and playing in the NBA?
No,
I played in Shanghai, so I'm fine.
Okay, but now
it was cold as
China was fire.
Look, but LeBron, Steph, you don't got to come to Saudi Arabia. You don't got to come to China. We'll put the league in America.
First of all,
No, you're not gonna.
First of all, when you that name, trust me, you gonna have English everything.
Yeah, for sure. I get it.
The T-Mac had all Phantoms following him. He had a compound and
they got
chefs
the
and all
money.
that. So
They got the money.
you that person, you ain't gotta. The rest of the city might be fucked up, not you.
But my point is, you don't even got to come to China or here. We'll just bring the league. We'll bring the league right to America.
An alternative league.
6 to 8 teams.
No, that defeats the purpose.
That defeats the purpose.
That's
Why?
defeats
You want to take the stars out and put them in your country.
Yeah, like I want to be gone. Like I don't want to
Money over
be.
there.
I don't want to be on U.S. soil still. The NBA's going and I'm playing in
Still
another.
That was
Yeah.
my point of why it would not work.
But from a competition standpoint, I think we said
I think eventually
the league's not competitive enough. Guys will be like, look, the NBA is more competitive. But if the league is on the same level of competition,
You'll take the money for a short term.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But for long term for the league, it's not going to last because guys would rather be home because they're going to learn that overseas is not where it's at when it comes to long-term shit.
So what if we do a mix?
And B.
$500 million. They gonna make sure my whole family comes.
I can't wait to leave.
$500 million.
You don't leave.
My whole family coming. My whole family coming.
That's what I'm saying. It's just not as enticing. After the bread.
Listen, they'll be all right.
After the bread.
French fries.
Pause.
Do all that.
Listen, they'll be all right for a couple months. They'll be all right for a couple, living like that.
Even a year instead of maybe
But
a
if you
year.
split it, now Saudi League is like, all right, you got to play half the season in Saudi Arabia. To your point, that they're gonna want.
Y'all acting like Saudi some.
Like it's so awful.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's about, they got the red carpet. You giving me that? I know I got the red carpet.
Yeah.
Put you up in a palace, like.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my own concerts. The homies is coming over. All that.
But you play half the season out there, half the season in America.
I wouldn't come back. Why?
Yeah.
If the league was structured.
Okay. First of all, y'all see Jokic when he was talking about
The horses.
No.
Oh.
The fans.
That was funny.
That shit was
When
funny.
he was talking about the fans, how's the fans rowdy? And he's like, I play in Serbia,
Right.
right? And then they showed the Serbia crowd.
Yeah, with them flags and all that shit.
One day in that atmosphere, I don't want to come back to America.
Yeah, it's boring.
Every night is like that too.
Every night they got fire in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
They sit
Every
there.
flag, the flag,
And you paying me big money like that? Oh, let's
They was
go.
about to jump ball, and I guess they lost. One team lost the jump ball. They start throwing toilet paper on the court.
Yeah.
They wasted 30 minutes just to clean the toilet paper up. Like that's an
It's
atmosphere
lit.
you can't pay for.
It's
While we
lit.
sitting here like,
Yeah.
boo.
Yeah. You get kicked out. Yeah, you get kicked out for saying something.
Yeah, nah.
So should the NBA embrace, and we had talked about this before about with Joker in that situation, but should the NBA embrace a situation like that, or is it going to get too turned up
It needs
and not
to
become a
it needs to
liability?
get more rowdy in the stands. It should be more rowdy in the stands.
No, Sacramento had it when they were doing dollar beer night. Now you can't make me owner, cause I see shit. I gotta.
You doing dollar beer night?
Huh?
You
Every
trying-
Friday, free.
Free beer.
Free
Oh,
game. Free, you coming here free.
Oh,
that means
it's
I'm getting
lit.
all the worst of the worst. Worst of the worst. This whole bottom row, rich people, you gotta sit up front, you got here too late.
You got
Y'all's bougie. Right? It's all
The purge? You gonna have the purge?
And this
Look.
section is y'all can't sit down, y'all gotta jump. It's all hey, whatever goes.
Man, beer
Whatever
all over the
goes.
floor and everything.
Hey, whatever goes. This is
I don't know about free, but
Listen, I want
maybe
this
free
arena-
beer and
I want you,
Incentives.
this
Give
arena
them
has
one
to
drink
be
ticket.
yeah, one-
One
yeah.
free,
Unwinnable
one free
proof.
drink.
Two.
And then
I don't know what the owner's doing. Player talking about, oh, you got to kick him out. Who?
But you think
Not my fan. Not my fan.
you think making it free
Gil
is
want
gonna make it
chaos.
unwinnable?
Gil want a war.
You want-
Think about who
want
comes free.
toxicity.
Nah, I'm
Who
thinking
gonna sit
about
in-
it.
Who gonna sit in line?
this-
Who gonna sit in line on free tickets to an NBA game?
But see, that's how it is in Europe. Like when I played, they used to have the stadiums first come, first serve.
First come, first serve.
And the tickets was the same price. Everybody tickets was the same price. So you first come, first serve. If you roll one, you get there in time.
Ain't no Mayweathers.
Early, yeah.
Ain't no Mayweathers in that. There ain't none of that in the front row no more.
Yeah.
Ain't no Beyonce and Quavo sitting there.
That's exactly how nigga got robbed at gunpoint. Nigga got robbed at gunpoint right after the game after that. Nigga, Venezuela.
I won't.
We got you.
You ain't gonna be.
Yeah, we was in the front row. Remember we was.
You ain't gonna be here.
Remember we was doing that. Remember you didn't look at us.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be there.
I need that chain now.
They ain't gonna be there.
I need that chain.
They're not gonna be at
They
those
in the
games.
front. Yes, they in the front row. They was there first.
How
They
they
was
gonna get-
in the front.
Who's there?
The robbers.
It ain't gonna be no
Stick 'em up.
game. It ain't gonna
What
be
I'm
no
saying is,
game.
where is Quavo?
It ain't-
Stick 'em up.
It ain't gonna be no game.
Pick them up.
It's gonna only be
Real
them at the
shit
bottom.
gonna
And
be chaos.
I'm
ain't gonna be no rich people
Ain't gonna be
there.
no
I'm not
game.
talking about robbing them. I'm talking about robbing us players. Nigga, they robbed us overseas.
Man, no.
They robbed
That's
us.
just still security and all.
Ain't
I'm just
enough
the
security
first
for
come,
them
first
free
serve.
niggas that come in there
I'm
with
saying first come, first serve.
crypto. Nigga, you know what's across the street?
You still got to
First
get
come, first
go through
serve.
the metal
Come
detector.
first.
What's across the street? What's across the street from the crypto? Yeah, come on.
About 7 bars.
Man,
Pull
Come on,
up.
bring your ass on
I
over
just
here.
want that rowdy.
Gilbert want the wrong crowd.
rowdy.
Nigga, they rowdy.
It ain't gonna be
Your
no
shit'll
game.
be toxic.
It ain't gonna be
This
no
shit gonna
game.
be toxic.
They'll
Yeah.
start you
It will
out,
not
they'll
be a
start you
game,
out at the
yo.
JW Marriott. You're not coming here with all that shit.
There ain't gonna be no game.
Nah,
You're
nigga.
gonna be. It's gonna.
You don't look like you got enough bread to be
You
in here,
can't
dog.
win in this arena. Is how everyone should be. You cannot. Like when you look at overseas, that shit is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit is
The
crazy.
best thing about overseas is winning the game on the road.
Like winning the game, that's the hardest
Winning
thing
the game on the road overseas is the best.
I don't know where
I don't
y'all
care. That team didn't go feel like.
I think y'all ain't been watching too
I
much
don't agree
TV.
with
Are you
them.
ever nervous leaving the game, though? Are you ever nervous leaving the road game?
Hell yeah. In Serbia, hell yeah.
Yo, I couldn't even
You don't even want to win that
Yo,
game.
they stopped.
You wanna
They
get the hell
stopped
up
us
outta
from
there.
going to soccer matches because we would go to support our soccer teams, and the fans would attack us, the basketball players.
Yeah.
So we couldn't even go to the soccer. That's how bad the rivalry
That's how I
was.
want my arena. I want my arena to the point where you don't want to wear the other team's jersey.
Nobody other jersey, huh? No other.
LeBron coming in, goddamn it, ain't one Laker. That's not a Laker jersey in that some bitch.
Overseas, you know what they do? They throw bananas on the floor.
Yeah, monkeys.
No, they take the tops. They stopped taking the tops off of the drinks.
Mm-hmm.
They started throwing coins. They put that little thing over our bench.
Yep,
they
we had
can't
that in
throw
Serbia.
coins and stuff at
Yep,
us.
had that in
yeah.
Serbia.
Look at
I mean, do you feel like the NBA?
41 and 0 at home.
Do you feel like NBA events were more turned up back in the day? Like, is the Malice in the Palace has that shifted the fan experience?
Man, I feel like when Magic and them was playing, it was turned up.
Nah, Lakers in the 80s was turned.
Well, I think it was
that,
too
that
because
arena looked nuts. yo.
Was it turned or were they just high?
No. It was also because the fan bases were different
Mr.
then
80s.
because the average person could afford to
Yeah.
go to a game. Now you gotta save. It's like college tuition to like go to multiple games. Now.
I'm gonna be real. I went to several Lakers
Who did I
playoff
say
games.
that I wanted first come, first serve? Who's gonna be there? The old Laker fans, all them old ones, yeah, come on up in there.
They rich now though.
So went to a few Lakers games this postseason, and every subsequent round, the shit got more boring. It was to a point where
Boring,
it was
but
like,
more
what the
expensive.
fuck is going on?
But more expensive.
Y'all not excited to watch basketball right now? Motherfuckers
you-
not cheering like.
Why you think the owners getting the bread? They getting the bread because they raised the price.
Because they priced out the
for the
real
front row.
fans.
Yeah, for courtside.
For court,
right, yeah,
what you think
courtside.
that courtside gonna look like with $46,000 there?
It's gonna look like $2 billion in my pocket.
They gonna be sitting there like
billions of dollars.
They gonna be on the
owner.
internet taking selfies.
Right.
Like, nah, I need craziness.
The real
right here.
fans is the ones
I
up
need-
there in the nosebleeds. That's
Yeah,
the real
the
fans.
best fans in the
ones up there.
nosebleeds.
So where are you getting your money from as an owner? You getting your money
Every
from
Friday.
concessions and ticket sales, or you getting
All of
the
it.
wins?
All of it.
Huh?
No, you don't
get
have
it
to
from
win to
wins?
make money. You don't have to win to make money.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
That's the
I'm
argument.
about to say, yeah,
That's what's the argument?
Yeah, I'm certainly make no money.
So what's the reason for doing a free game?
Free game?
What's the reason for doing a free game?
You got the ticket, the TV money.
You're losing, huh?
The TV money? The TV money. That's where all they get their money from. They TV money.
Concessions, ticket sales.
TV, no, that's,
TV's number one.
Concessions.
TV is number one. That
TV.
concession shit ain't shit.
TV's number one.
That them hot dog, motherfucker, them boring ass hot dogs ain't
TV's number one.
TV deal.
Tickets, like you just said,
Hey,
46,000.
the Glizzies is like $15 now.
46,000 for the front row.
They making
That's
a lot
lie.
of money off the concessions, though.
that's
But that's
like-
not the.
that's TV money.
I'm not saying it's not the main. I'm not saying it's the main.
Hey, man, why you worrying about how I'm gonna run my team? Just try to get a win in that.
I'm just asking where you gonna get your money. Where you gonna get your money, man? Where you gonna get your
Bro,
money?
you trying to get a win in there. All right? I'm losing the game. Huh? Hey. Shut this shit down. Lights off. Click.
Hit one switch.
I'm dead ass serious.
He is.
Don't let me own no shit
He's
like
crazy
that.
because he's crazy.
It'd be impossible.
And then we talked a little bit about NBA players potentially embracing that soccer player mentality, going and getting a bag at a lesser league. What type of backlash do you think they would get if they did that? Would the NBA make an example out of them? Like, are you gonna do that shit, try and come back and see what happens?
I wouldn't give up.
How do you get a backlash if you ain't even in the country?
Right. I wouldn't give up.
And I'm up.
Yeah. And it's not like a team's not gonna take you when you come back.
Yeah,
really.
If you
Like,
still
I'm
can
up.
play. Yeah, they're gonna.
I'm just coming back with way more money, and now
And a
I'm talking
different
way more shit.
perspective, yeah.
My whole
Deion-
perspective is different in life.
Deion
I own
Sanders.
shit. I own different
Sanders,
shit.
right? Deion Sanders' song was for
Must
the love,
be the money.
for the love of the money.
No, must be the money.
Must be the money.
Yeah.
It must be the money. Must be the money.
I would love to see it though.
I mean,
I would love to
in theory, it's not. It doesn't work. I mean, no, in theory it does work because the WNBA. They play overseas, make more money than
Way
they come back
more.
home.
Yeah.
Yes.
So shoe companies,
And I'm surprised. I'm surprised that overseas
Hasn't done something about that.
and just said, "Hey, we'll pay you all year long." Don't.
Well, they don't have a year-round season.
But if they were smart, they should.
But they don't have a market.
Yeah, but you have
They
to
don't
give people a
market.
break too, like bodies, like
Fans?
No, the players. You supposed to have multiple leagues.
No, if I'm overseas and I run a team, I'm going to run my team all year round, and I'm going to pay you not to go back to the WNBA.
But when do you break? When do you have a timeout? When do you?
I give you a month break.
No, come
You
on.
take some days off.
That ain't gonna work. People,
One game a week.
People's bodies need to recover.
game a week?
You need to.
One game every 2 weeks?
exhale.
One game every 2 weeks?
I mean, to me, I just feel like it depends on where I'm staying and how much I'm getting paid.
I'm just
Because
saying.
I
You do it all
probably
year?
won't come back to America.
Yeah.
Like, I'll
For
just
what?
keep traveling around Europe.
For what? There's nothing
Like,
here.
I mean, if I'm getting paid like that,
If my family's with me,
overseas, like,
if my
I mean, we
family's
come back
with
when
me, yeah,
we need
I'm
to,
good.
but
It's $200,000 that the max player gets here. What? You know how many? What?
yeah.
I can have the whole WNBA.
But that's what happened. You know, the WNBA used to be during the NBA season.
Y'all think
And then the players realized I could go overseas and make so much more money and actually have fans and be it'll be more fun. And that's why they switched the WNBA to the summer how they doing it now, because they couldn't compete with Europe.
Y'all
The
think
players
it's
were
sweet?
leaving.
It ain't sweet over there like you think it is. Like you said, sound cute.
But they go over there. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
They go over there every
I
year.
love it.
Because they have to.
No,
No, they
wanna-
I would
they don't-
actually-
they have to
I would
because
they
actually-
wanna work.
I would actually live over
They
there.
want
if I
to work.
could.
It ain't because, oh yeah, I
But do you feel
want to
like
go.
most
It's
women-
because I got to go
If you
get
can make
another
just as much
That's
money
what I'm saying.
staying in America,
Ain't
you
no
feel like
market
most
over
women
there.
would-
Absolutely.
For women.
Absolutely.
Ain't no market, ain't no fan base.
Even
ain't
light
no
of the
none of
Brittany
that. They
Griner
go fake 'cause
situation?
Well, there's certain
make more
places you
money.
wouldn't go.
Yeah, there's certain countries I'm not
Yeah,
fucking
you
with
wouldn't
under any
fool with.
circumstance.
Yeah. But
I mean, yeah, just keep me in Italy.
No, what I'm saying is they make more money over there. That's why they go there.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying that for them to stay over there, they wouldn't have the incentive because there's no real market, even though they.
Who cares about the money?
Who
You get the money.
cares? It's
Because
money.
you have to have a fan base.
There is. They have a fan base.
They pay them over there because the girls that are over there are from that country. They need competition. They need better competition to play against. So when you go to China, it's like they bring the girls over there because these girls need somebody to play against.
Okay.
The same
No, you're
thing
on
with
the
all
team
the other
with them.
countries.
You're on the- no, everybody
but
has
it's not.
an
It's not no real. It's like. It's not a whole thing. That's why they don't
Yes, it
stay
is.
over there.
No,
That's why the
the reason
girls
you don't-
come back.
No,
The
they
reason
don't
you don't
stay over
stay
there because
over
they
there
want to
'cause
play. They want to play WNBA.
And
They
your
wanna-
fa-
so if they-
and your family's
Listen to
not
what you
over
just
there.
said. They come back because they want to play in the WNBA.
WNBA.
To
Okay,
play in
so if
front
they
of-
get paid more to go over there.
It's pressure.
Excuse me?
It's
Pressure.
pressure.
If you get paid more to go over there, why would you come back?
Because first of all, it's not just no money. There is some money, and it's also playing for your country and your for you.
Oh,
for your
those
own.
are all excuses you give me.
Yes.
No, I've already asked.
No,
I've already
that's
asked.
the- that's
I've
the
already
truth.
asked
If
WNBA.
you get
That's the
paid
truth.
more,
Yes.
why would you come back?
They said the only
More
reason
money.
They said
More money.
No. This is true. Any WNBA player.
My sister
woman,
was a WNBA.
woman can
My
tell-
sister is a
They
WNBA player.
Yeah.
They said-
My
Yeah.
sister,
I have
for
lots
a
of
year.
friends.
Okay.
Lots of
She
friends.
said they said the WNBA
Yes.
is their second job.
Yes, it's a B. It's
This is their B
It's
job.
their hustle.
That's their
it's
side
the
boo?
scam
This is
money.
their
Yes.
B job, not their number one
Yes.
job.
And it's only 3 months.
I'm not gonna get into it with you guys.
I'm just telling you.
I have a twin.
B
Yeah.
That's told me how much money
Yes.
she makes off what she does not playing basketball. She made more than she did playing basketball. Overseas and in the WNBA.
Yeah, well, that's
So
her.
That's
That's her.
They-
I'm telling
the
you-
WNBA girls, their second job
Is
the
the
WNBA.
WNBA.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just telling you that if it paid more and it was lucrative enough, they would stay over.
Their seasons, their season's
are
all year
the
round
season's
over there.
over.
Their season's over, so they
You're-
come back
you
here.
This is home.
Well, is that why the
That's why I said if they did it all year round,
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't come back here.
Well, men's and women's college basketball follows the same schedule, right? WNBA
Yes.
starts right around Memorial Day, but
Yes.
it's basically geared around NBA offseason
Yes.
and now keep basketball
Yes.
going.
That's the only
then when-
way
and then when
it's
that
gonna
season
So,
over
but are you
Euro-
saying if the European League said, well, you know what, we're going to fucking play into this shit too?
No, if the Euro had their league right now,
And it was the same money, those girls would not play in the WNBA.
Yeah, the girls are gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
They would
I'm
be over
surprised
there.
that Euro hasn't done it yet.
But they won't. I don't think they will because of the fact that the girls will want a break. Everybody want a break. When you're playing a sport, everybody wants their body to just take a break. You need that.
He's stuck on
I
that.
just don't agree. Because I know what he just said is they want to come back here. They want to come back here because playing home,
This season's
playing
over.
here, they want to come back here.
But what if the
That's
season was
reason.
structured the
that's what
same
he's
though?
stuck on.
Money.
No, if they just got paid more here, it wouldn't even be a conversation.
Yes.
It
Because
is.
it's the WNBA, right?
Yes.
Right. So the whole point for me is saying that from the information I gather from my sister is that the grass ain't greener on the other side because you're getting paid more money. It didn't feel good for her. It wasn't the shit.
She didn't like
it. wasn't like that.
She didn't like
It wasn't like that.
Sir,
for
but
her.
what is
like
your
it.
argument?
Yeah.
You say you don't disagree.
I don't have an argument. You don't have to have an
you're
argument
saying
to
you're
disagree
disagree-
with you.
Okay, but
I don't
what do you
have to
dis-
have. I just don't agree.
With
What do you disagree?
Whatever you're saying.
What? What do you?
What am I
disagree?
saying?
I
that
don't
you're
know.
disagreeing to?
I don't like your
Again, I
tone.
said you don't know.
I don't like your tone.
Okay.
I don't like that. I don't agree with your tone.
You don't know what you're arguing about.
10-1, nigga.
Exactly. I knew it.
Can we put y'all in the
No, I knew it. I was like, wait a minute, aren't we saying the same thing? Like I'm saying Euro.
He brought
I'm
that
saying
10
Euro. If
points.
they just did it all year round, they wouldn't come back. If America just
like
paid the
talking,
girls
yeah.
more money, they wouldn't come. And he's saying the same thing, but he's disagreeing. And I'm like, what are you disagreeing on exactly? I don't know. I just don't like the way you're saying it. Cool. We got the answer.
Can we put both y'all niggas in the big sumo outfits and let y'all just?
No, they need a celebrity boxer.
No, I told you how he argues. I told you how he
He
argues.
don't listen. He just want to be right. That's it.
Okay.
That's all Gilbert
Okay.
Arenas does is,
All right.
I want to be right.
All right, so what
Let
do
me
you
make sure that what are you saying? Oh, you're wrong. Okay.
So what are you disagreeing with?
Okay, what are you disagreeing with?
Yeah.
I'm right. Okay.
I just want to know what you're disagreeing with.
But look, let's agree about this. 10-1.
Yeah.
We agree? All right.
I told you every
All right, you're right. You're right. You're right.
That's 10-1. That's why you should have never let him beat you. You should have never let him.
He didn't let me do shit.
Argument,
He didn't
No,
let
my bad.
He ain't let me
Okay, let
him
me fix
beat
that.
you.
You should have never lost to him.
You want to go shoot right now?
Let him.
Oh, he said shoot right now.
I'm retired.
Oh,
I'm retired. I'm retired. I don't shoot.
He ain't not gonna tell y'all.
Look,
went 2 for
you didn't wear
22,
I
warming
wore the
up.
shirt, man.
He not
Find
gonna
him,
tell
fuck
you
him,
he
forget
warmed
him.
up.
Find him,
Why
fuck him,
is
and
he-
forget him, man. I don't fuck around no more. Forget about him.
The t-shirts on this side of the show,
Forget about him.
phenomenal.
It's over with. We don't deal with that shit no more.
you're different today.
We're getting
It's
canceled.
Titty Tuesday for me, though.
I wonder what they're thinking at the underdog
Saying
office.
everything.
Oh man.
Get their bags ready.
You
Get their
fucking
bags
No,
ready.
right?
Never should have gave you niggas a show. But if you have not done so already, go ahead and download the Underdog Fantasy app. Use promo code GillsArena. That will match your first deposit up to $100. One thing we can all agree on is that sometimes the chat asks good questions, which leads us now to our Mostly Fan segment. We done put good hours in.
Hope it's some good questions or they getting blocked.
So first question is from Pop. He said, what year?
Pop?
It might be Greg Popovich's ass watching the show.
dead.
They're trying to pull up on niggas. Pop, if this really you, pull up on her.
You gonna be itching and shit now.
What year did you feel the most dominant playing? Like you felt like everyone that stepped against you was reps, the most locked in? Nigga, keep the questions. You can't have multiple sentences. For all
They only
three,
talking to you. They only talking to you. They talking.
What was your best season, basically? When you felt like I'm killing everybody, no matter who you put in front of me.
Even though my best scoring and best numbers were 05, 06, but it felt like mentally I was more dominant 06, 07.
Why'd you feel that way?
Because the game winners, like the end of the game, I just was on point. Like I think it was one point I was like 41 out of 45 at end of quarters, in the periods, and in the game shots. And
Do you value that more than?
yeah, it just seemed like you couldn't stop me when it was time to be stopped. But the year before that, I averaged 29, my numbers was better, but the other year just seemed like.
Which year do you feel like you guys were the better team? When you were averaging 29 or when you was hitting?
I think
like
our
that?
better team,
That year y'all lost to LeBron.
probably.
That was good that year.
I think it was that year
What-
or the year
what-
or the year before that with
That game.
Well,
winner,
that was
man,
07.
shit
Well,
was
that
tough.
was
the
07.
I think maybe the 04-05 Antoine. We still had Larry, right? We had a more all-around great team. I just think everyone was just young and we just needed more experience. Larry left, and we had to start altering from there.
Brandon, how about yourself?
I definitely got to go my senior year. was a great year, my rookie year in the NBA, and then right before I tore my Achilles in Detroit, I felt like I was getting to like a flow with Stan Van Gundy, having Greg Monroe, KCP, Andre Drummond, Caron Butler was on that team too. We had just traded for Josh, and I remember we was being 5-23, and we was like 2 games out of the 8th spot. And I
Wait, what was your record?
We were 5-23 at the beginning of the season.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, like, shit.
Yeah, 5. And then once we traded for Josh, we were like 2 games out of the East. Like, and then I tore my Achilles, but that's when I felt like I was going to take that next leap.
Shaw, how about yourself?
My 3rd year. I just came off microfracture surgery.
07, 08. Oh, you were coming into that year after microfracture?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't supposed to do none of the shit I was doing. I was on my last year of my Nike contract, so I had my signature shoe and shit, and I remember they was coming in telling me that they was going to expire the contract and all this shit. And I was coming off the bench like 20, 25 minutes a game, 15 points a game.
Yep. I'm looking at 41% from 3.
But it wasn't really about the numbers for me. It was, I mean, because a lot of people can look at the numbers and be like, oh, that's that. But it was when I checked in the game, like there was a scouting report for me that just got me hyped, got me up for like the next years to come and just the potential of what I could do. And it was my first year actually getting to actually play and having plays when you got in the game. Like I had my own plays. And it was an opportunity for me to dunk on a lot of niggas and show my athleticism after a fucking surgery. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So, you know, I could just remember certain guys when I checked in, like, oh, shit, don't be on that shit tonight. You know what I'm saying? You on that shit. And I used to just shoot that bitch. I used to really shoot that bitch like I was shooting that nigga's head off in Vegas. Like, he didn't know, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? A lot of the top tier niggas, they overlook, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, hey, nigga, I had a fucking clip. And it was not to be overlooked, you know what I'm saying?
Never gonna go away.
And, you know, regardless of whatever the fuck you want to say,
It's never
there's
going away.
certain niggas,
Never going away.
there's certain niggas that know. When a nigga step on that fucking floor, when y'all walk in that gym.
It's never going away.
I'm sorry, this is the Instagram shooter then. Your Instagram. You take 30-something shots and you took the best 8 to promote. He went 2 for 22 before we challenge him.
The history is in the numbers.
2 for 22, so technically he's 10 for 30-something.
I'm a 40% sniper.
Right? I just want everybody. 2 for 20, right?
Career.
Yeah, 2 for 22.
40%
horrible
sniper. But then when it was time to compete, I was 8 for 10.
That's what I'm saying.
8 in a row.
I wasn't there.
It's not we. He was working out. I'm filming.
Was no
Brennan. He was shooting.
Now he's lying.
No, I mean not working out. He was
took
shooting.
3 shots. He started talking shit. Like, oh, you missed. Oh, my God. My God, in case I said.
Yeah.
For real. Then I took about 10 more shots. Just try to get the range. Once I got the range, he wanted to bring his ass out there and talk some more shit.
2 for 22.
Then he got his head chopped off, like I told you. I sat here and said to you.
Why weren't you there?
He was there.
Yeah, I'm filming him.
No.
He didn't witness it.
He was there.
Okay, hold on. Let's be honest.
So you saw.
He watched it.
So you saw the 2 for 22?
Yeah. He said the rim was janky.
Was the rim
Why was it going straight in?
You saw the 2
Why was the shit switching?
I was too busy.
Why was the
He said he wasn't watching.
No. I was too busy training.
He said the rim was bigger. He should make more shots.
I was over there.
If the rim's bigger, why wouldn't you make more? It's bigger.
Okay,
You should make more.
All right.
This shit was air ball. I'm like, who is this nigga?
All right.
Who brought him on the trip?
Yo.
He supposed to be ready every fucking day, nigga, at 5:30 in the morning.
Okay. So now that question.
5 o'clock in the morning. Where you gonna be? Outside on the
So that's a great question. So why did you go 2 for 22 first?
Together.
So why'd you go 2 for 22 first? If it was that easy.
Because I set you up.
Oh. 2 for 22.
Because I went 8 for 10 after that.
Because he had to get a like. That's what I'm saying. He takes 40 shots. He takes 40 shots, and then in part of the 40 shots, he makes 8,
12,
and that's the one he wants to brag about.
That was 40.
Can we do this again in
backyard right now?
Tacoma?
Can
Can we do this again at Tacoma?
The Zeke
You don't want to shoot.
What's going on
That's
in
what I'm saying.
Tacoma?
What is the backyard gonna be different?
Because we gonna be in the gym all day.
Man, hold on. No, what I'm
You know,
saying.
difference from backyard and the trampoline with the trees and shit.
2 for
this
22.
nigga sent videos in the chat of
for
him shooting
22.
one-handed and all this
That's
other
what-
dumbass shit.
Right.
Then you get on the court and you can't hit a goddamn shot. You hit one.
You went 2 for 22. Now divide that.
You hit one.
That's 1 for 11.
You hit one.
You went 1 for 11
Don't
twice.
stop talking about what I did. Talk about what you
Okay,
did.
I went 1 for 10.
You went one for
11.
no. You went one for more than that, nigga. You went like 1 for a 200 because you lost to the nigga after me.
But I didn't make
Yeah, you got your ass
Are
whooped
you
that
gonna-
whole weekend.
are you gonna let
He got
him-
his ass whooped.
are you
He's
gonna
not
let
gonna
him-
shoot me for real. He said
He's not going to shoot me for
Are you
real.
gonna let him get his
He
fade
said-
back?
he said-
He's not going to shoot me
Are you
for
gonna- are you
real.
gonna let him
We
get his
should-
fade
hey,
back?
we
Just
gotta do
one-on-one
this. Come on.
fade.
He's
Hey,
not
what'd
going
he
to
say?
shoot me
Just
for
a
real.
one-on-one fade
He
back.
warmed up, wouldn't let
This
me
is
warm
what he
up.
said in the chat. He said, man, I took 2 L's today. I said, Gilbert, 2 L's put together looks like a W, bro. It's gonna be okay.
Are you gonna let him get
I
his
can
fade
pull that
back?
up in the chat. I can put 2 L's in, like, put it together. It looks like a W. We all win, Gilbert.
Are you gonna
We
let him get
all
his fade
win.
back? Are you gonna let him get his fade
But
back?
that's what I'm saying. He's not.
would.
He's not. He won't even let me warm up to shoot him.
You don't
He
need to warm up.
he warmed
Gilbert,
up.
you said bionic arm don't
I
need
was
a
over there
warm
learning how
up.
to jump.
Listen,
You don't need a warm up. You're Gilbert
The
Arenas.
court's big. The rim is this big. Like it's like it took him
Anywhere.
It took him 24
You said Hoopers
shots.
don't make excuses. You need to be flaming his ass.
I did
You
say that.
said
I
you
did.
said Hoopers don't need no excuses, no
I
ball,
did.
no rim,
I did.
no none of that
We
shit.
gotta do
But you let this nigga off the
It's
hook
not a
right
real
now.
basketball
I
rim.
did.
He
No.
complaining.
It wasn't a
I'm
wasn't
the
a real
only,
basketball rim.
listen,
not a real
listen.
basketball.
Okay, thank you.
Now,
That's the
now
only-
Brandon gonna take
It
his
took
shot. I'm
24
surprised.
shots to
No,
get
I'm
you.
surprised.
Hold on.
No,
I'm
He's
surprised.
saying
No.
that you said the bubble.
Josiah,
You said
Josiah,
the bubble championship
Josiah, let's be
that's
honest.
Masters by.
Hey,
He's basically
Josiah,
saying
let's be honest.
yo
No,
shot
I mean, they
has
did shoot
to
though.
stop.
They did shoot.
Yeah.
It took him 24
So
shots.
that's what I say. He'll give you a fade
He
back.
wouldn't let me.
Give you a
It
fade.
keeps
Give him
saying
a
what it
fade
took
back.
me.
So
It
give him a
took me
fade back
20,
then.
It took me this, took me
So
that.
give him the fade back.
It took me one.
Yeah, we should do it.
It took me one session to
Give him the fade back.
evaporate this nigga.
And it wouldn't let me. Let's go to the
This
back.
is what Thanos does
Stop.
when it's time for a nigga
Right.
to.
Let's go in the back.
Give him
We
the
can all
fade
take.
back.
We can all take 20 warm-up shots.
Let's go to a
nails.
gym.
Let's just
fuck your backyard.
Okay, let's go to the gym.
Because when I
Tacoma. Let's go to Tacoma.
Wanna go.
Tacoma. Let's save it for Seattle.
Let's go to the gym.
When
We'll
is
be in
this?
Seattle for the
thing.
Zeke end.
For the Zeke
But we got to ask another question.
When is this?
August.
That's on the 5th.
I didn't
It's
know anything
6th.
about
Yeah,
this.
and it's a gym.
Say you gonna play. Say
Can
you
I
gonna
know
shoot it.
about
No,
this?
I'm not shooting.
Of course
Yeah, 5th and the 6th.
Question number 2.
Wow, y'all
He
didn't
wants you
tell
on the
me.
half rim, half, and he don't
No,
want.
I just gonna do it on my time, nigga. I won.
Question-
My time.
When is
do it
that?
on my
Let me get your time?
When I'm ready.
All right, question number
When I'm ready. When I'm ready. With my gym and my rules, nigga.
Okay, your rules.
Now, you lost,
tell
you
us
don't
when?
get no
How about
say
this?
so.
How about this? How about this? How about this?
Fucking think this
Can
is,
you
nigga.
tell me-
Don't let no loser nigga tell me
Can you
what's
tell
going
me
on.
when to shoot? I don't want you to say, all right, today we're going to shoot, and you done warmed up like you did before.
Oh my God, he keep talking about warmed up.
Both players get
So
warm
me
up.
warmed up is cheating, right?
You take 20 shots to adjust and say, Gilbert, shoot.
Gilbert.
This contest.
Is me warmed up cheating?
For a shooting contest?
You're not answering.
I just want to know.
Is me being warmed up
I
cheating
just want
for
you
you?
to just give everybody the date. Say, hey, we're going to go to my gym.
Rashad McCants
We're going to shoot at
warmed
this
up
time.
is a dangerous man.
We're going to shoot at this time on this date at my location. Everybody knows we can say yes.
McCann's warmed up.
I don't want him to come in here and be like, yeah, I just finished working out, taking 3,000 shots. Let's shoot right now. You can't warm up. Like, I don't want that shit.
You need to warm up, right?
Everybody, yes.
Okay, that's all I want
I need to warm up.
That's all I want to hear, because he said, I don't need to warm up.
I'm pretty sure Usain Bolt had to warm up before he ran.
No, he don't. Nigga, run. Run.
Pretty.
Full world record.
Booby Miles. Booby Miles ain't had to warm up.
Nigga, Booby said, fucking stretch.
I'm pretty
This
sure.
is God.
I'm pretty sure Usain Bolt was
This
at
is
his motherfucker.
God.
Warming this.
Booby strap him up in them nights. We gonna knock him dead in these
We all
nights.
see
Boy,
Steph
we got
warming
the
up
next-
before the game.
We got the next question.
So next question.
Fuck that next question.
Yes.
I want my warm up.
Yes. He want his warm up, nigga.
You get your warm up. Next question from Aramis Alexander. What's the strangest superstitions you had playing or seen from teammates?
We went from that to that question.
Oh, let me. No, I'm gonna say
Fucking
one.
kind of question is this.
I used to smoke before in college. I used to smoke and drink root beer before every game.
Like
and the
a
games
blunt?
I didn't.
What were you smoking?
Weed.
Okay, making sure.
Oh, whoa.
There's a lot of shit that can be smoked. I'm just
Root beer.
I mean, crack?
cigarettes. I was going cigarettes, but
No,
you know,
You could have been
Weed
smoking
and root beer.
there was a
Weed and
period
root
where
beer.
niggas was smoking
I
crack
had
before
my
games.
best games in college when I smoked weed and drank a root beer. I'm talking about chug. I used to be able to chug a root beer. Like,
But like right before the game.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had no gas?
I'm pretty sure she averaged 3 points a game in college.
Shut up.
No, I'm just saying. It just
I didn't,
sounds like,
mine wasn't always about points like you. But I had my best
Yeah, you can set
performance.
good
She got in the
screens.
game. Okay.
You can set good screens. You can be a good
No, I'm saying
rebounder.
like I performed better high and with that caffeine.
What did it do for you?
I feel like it almost made me feel like I could run into a wall and I'd be fine. Like I swear to God.
Shit.
Because I used to take a lot of contact going to the hole and all that kind of stuff, and I just felt like I was just like Wonder Woman. Like
All right,
I really
kids,
felt like
listen
that.
out there.
I'm not saying it was a good thing. I'm just saying I used to do that.
I'm just saying, kids out there.
I think for me, it was always I needed pasta. I needed like Alfredo pasta with some chicken. Because once
Real?
I came back from Rome, Italy always had to have like some pasta, like some Alfredo or some chicken before the game. If I didn't, then it'd be off.
It's a little off.
I already told y'all mine.
What was yours?
I already told you.
Sex.
Get my little massage and Becky, come and let me loose. God damn it, let it loose. I got to ease the tension. God damn it. Damn,
I shouldn't even ask this shit. I knew we were going.
I felt good out there. I was
Gil,
free.
what was yours?
All right, last question.
Nothing.
Last question is from Brandon Webb. Who's the best non-black teammate you ever had in your basketball career?
Non-black.
Y'all ain't gonna know mine. Y'all go ahead.
Not like
Non-black.
Like just any level.
like teammate?
Yeah,
It'd be good?
ever had in your basketball career?
Is Richard Jefferson considered non-black?
Yes, he is. Yes, he fucking
Non-black,
is.
nigga.
As black as his father was, he is so white. He is
I'm
so
just-
white.
He plays volleyball.
That's funny.
He plays volleyball.
funny.
He plays
Funny.
volleyball. 100%. He's non-white. He's
Yo, I
non-black.
had a big.
That's the criteria. That's the criteria. You got if you play volleyball.
For me, probably JJ Redick?
Negro tendencies.
No, it's probably JJ Redick. Then.
Okay.
I think Kevin Love.
Wait, Kevin Love on the fence.
What you mean? Kevin Love.
But I'm saying he was getting haircuts in the hood. Like people
said
don't know
no.
about old K-Love.
I do 30. I mean, I play
Light-skinned
AAU. I play
tendencies.
AAU.
I'm just saying, old K-Love back in the day, light-skinned
still
tendencies.
white.
Come from the Beach
He's
Boys.
still
But
white.
he's still pulling up in the hood.
He's still
embraced.
Wally Zerbiak?
Uchi Wally.
Was he on the same team with you?
Yeah, I played with Wally, but I would say probably Kevin Martin. I like Kevin Martin from SAC.
He's black.
No, Lil K Mart. Yeah, he was light skinned.
Then we don't.
You know what?
That's non-black.
You know
Nick,
what?
You're mixed.
You know what?
You're non-black.
The show's over.
God damn! And on that note,
If Richard Jefferson is non-black, K Mart is
I sitting
non-black.
there like,
I had to go back.
everybody was like, wait,
No, I was asking
think of who it was. Oh my
So
God.
then if K Mart don't qualify,
He does not.
then yeah, Wally.
Oh my God.
Wally, the best. Probably this is the
Show's
best.
over. Get us out of here.
Man, we see y'all tomorrow, man.
another wild episode. We will see if we'll be back tomorrow. I gotta feel the underdog.
Hey, I didn't know Kevin
Underdog
Martin.
gonna lay that
He
hammer down.
He said
I didn't know Kevin Martin was
I
black
was
though.
thinking like, wait, is
Kevin
there
Martin.
another
Kevin
one I
Martin was
don't know
white. I thought he was
about?
white.
I
I
had
didn't know he was black.
Oh my
Is Daddy
God.
black?
This has been another episode of Gil's Arena. Appreciate you, the Underdog Fantasy, as always. Like I said, hopefully we have another show tomorrow. The powers that be find it in their heart to let us continue doing the show for y'all. But we'll see y'all Wednesday, hopefully.
All right.
He was like, damn. Hey, he's still checking it.
Yeah, when did he get black? When did he get when? I don't remember.
That is
looked black.
fucking.
I know he looked black. Was he black?
That's-
I don't know.
Y'all trolling this.
That's what I said. We might be wrong.
Y'all trolling.
No way.
We'll find out in the chat. They're gonna correct. Rashad, you was right.
Never let nothing go. Just like him.
Anybody check?